The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93. I am awake.
But I'm not happy.
As a journalist, I should get to know the city that I'm covering. But this is not a date.
No, of course not. Strictly professional.
Wonderful.
Great.
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
Really? Yes, I do. It's actually an optical illusion. It's the pattern on the pants. It's not flattering in the crotchal region. Nothing to look at. Don't act like you're not impressed.
And of course, my red-hot smoking wife, Carly, who's a stone-cold fox, who, if you were to rate her ass on 100, it would easily be a 94.
No, wait, let me say something.
Ron, are you okay? Ron.
Blue, you're my boy!
Showtime.
There you go. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show, and happy birthday to Will Ferrell. Not that we know the guy or assume he'll hear our birthday wish, but what the hell. We'll go ahead anyway. How old of a fella is he today, Josh?
57. You know, some people might have thought he passed. Anytime we put together a montage of any sort, people think, oh no, like Earth Day. Earth Day died. Certainly any celebrity. And shoot, what a weekend it was for celebrity deaths. So I can understand if anybody freaked out.
No,
57 today.
He's alive, isn't he, Will Ferrell?
Oh, yeah, here comes the text. Did he die? No, Will Ferrell. Unless you know something
that
we
would be
don't know.
crushing.
Yeah, that would take me out.
Yeah.
He's one of those dudes who looked 38 years old when he was 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we all know a few of those people.
Uh-huh.
And maybe now, I guess it's been a while since I've seen him, but not that long. Maybe a few months ago I saw him on television. Now things are beginning to finally even out. That's
how it goes with guys like that.
Yeah, he's reached an age now where he looks his actual age. It took a while.
Steve Martin looks the same as he did when he was 30.
Seriously.
I mean, the guys that prematurely age, for whatever reason, once they get to an elderly age, they look the exact same. They don't age further, it seems.
Steve Martin's
They just race there.
Steve Martin is a great example. The bastard's hair went white around 1977 or something, and he was still a relatively young man. Will Ferrell, 57, you said?
Mm-hmm.
What's your secret for keeping such a youthful appearance, Josh?
Well, I don't know that I have a youthful appearance.
Oh, yeah,
necessarily.
you absolutely do.
Well, every once in a while, you know how it is. I mean, you've done the same thing where, like, you're reading a story, they'll show a mug shot, and you'll be like, wow, man, that guy looks rough. I can't believe he's got to be, in his 60s? What, he's 39? How does that happen?
Well, I mean, I think I can answer the question. I think it's knowing you as well as I do. I think it's easy and obvious why you've kept a youthful appearance. Never smoked cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
You don't do any drugs.
Nope.
Never got into the drinking.
Not very much, no.
You and your wife like healthy things, healthy foods.
To varying degrees, certainly.
Straighter than a Grizzlies D.
Don't you pop up on the treadmill every day, too?
I do.
Yep,
yeah.
that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise.
I was just thinking about this topic yesterday because, I watch on YouTube, I'll watch a lot of old videos of 80s rockers. And I know you're the same as me. We both love doing that. And then I'll watch kind of more current ones of them playing, county fairs and Hy-Vee parking lots and stuff after selling out stadiums in the 80s and 90s.
Bowling alleys.
And some of them look really, really rough. A lot of I've noticed this where if you're really pretty, you're just like a Sebastian Bach, something like that. You're gorgeous as a young person. You don't age as well as a Steve Martin who looked old since he was a young man. Mm-hmm. Like, have you seen Sebastian Bach lately?
Well,
I watched his biography, which I really enjoyed, by the way. And, even he said, what happened? He's showing pictures of himself.
Yeah.
And then the camera pans back to what he looks like today. And he's wondering, I don't know how this happened. It's got to be all the partying.
Well, and then you guys bring up these old actors and actresses and stuff, and I'll have to look them up. And then, you see the young photo of them, and it's like, wow, they look great. And then all of a sudden, you do, what do they look like now? And sometimes it's like, ooh,
oh, God.
Shouldn't have done that.
Although I will say some of those where they compare, they find the world's worst picture of the person for the one that's right now, the more current picture.
Yeah, they want to shock the hell out of you.
Yeah.
So they use a picture from that individual's worst day.
They just smelled a fart or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, some people just age better than others. But in a lot of cases, if we're talking about rock stars and celebrities, yeah, it's a lifestyle thing. And it ages them quickly.
I think also why Josh looks so young, too, is he doesn't really grow a big beard or anything, too. So that kind of a little bit of a baby face.
Yeah.
I'm bald.
Helps, yeah.
But I went bald when I was in my 20s.
Because, if I shaved this beard, oh, boy, I would look like 24.
Well, I'd like to see it.
No.
I'm thinking more like 18, but yeah.
I want you to shave that beard, and I'm going to force you to eat it.
And he forced me to eat it.
You would look younger than 24. Sebastian Bach, I still love the origin story of Skid Row, or at least one piece of information from their origin story, the band Skid Row. We heard this story from somebody, Josh, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a long time ago. Some, what do they call them in the business? Some kind of an agent from a record company. There's I don't know the proper term. Went out to kind of scout the band. And help me out if anyone can think of these terms that
maybe a label or something.
Is it A&R guy or?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I hang on to these things for far too long. But some kind of A&R guy from a record company went out and saw the band. Went back to the record company and said, how would you like to sign a band where the lead singer can sing his balls off and he looks like Miss December?
Yeah, so they didn't bring that up in his biography, but he mentioned, Sebastian Bach mentioned they got to start because he was singing at a wedding of like a bandmate or somebody he knew that also played the same venues. And John Bon Jovi's mom heard him. He said there was this note he would sing. And after a while, it drove him nuts because one of his band members wanted him to do it at every single show. And he's like, this is killing me. I can't. I'm going to lose my voice. But he did it at the show. John Bon Jovi's mom heard it and said, whoa, that's impressive, and brought it up to John, who was friends with Snake Sabo. And he mentioned that was kind of one of the ways in. But you're right, there was a guy they showed that fought to get them a record deal, saying, you got to sign these guys.
And they likely would have gotten a deal anyway because of the talent in the band. And by the time Skid Row gained some steam, anybody who could play a hard rock riff and sing some kind of an anthem was getting signed. By the mid-'80s, a lot of horrible rock bands got signed because the 80s rock explosion, the hair metal thing was just so huge. Record companies were throwing themselves at any band with a decent rock riff. But looks were so important back then. Looks were maybe too important back then. And I just love the way that record rep put it. He looks like Miss December. That's very well put, and it very well may have, put him over the top.
In the documentary, there, or an earlier band of Sebastian Bach, and his hair's ridiculous at this time. So, hair netted up. I mean, not, you're thinking, oh, yeah, all the 80s rockers. This was on a next level.
Yeah.
How big his hair was before Skid Row.
He did it was space alien-like. And he's already, what, 6'4", 6'5"?
He's a tall guy.
He even raised it even.
So he's being interviewed by this woman, and she brings up how important his looks. And he's saying it's incredibly important. And then went on to say it makes a difference to the amount of girls that get backstage afterwards. But he was saying that was like one of the bigger things.
So you watched his documentary. did you tell us this, or am I dreaming, or is this the liquor talking? The story about Sebastian Bach stealing Christina Applegate away from Brad Pitt?
That wasn't in there.
Okay, who did we share this story recently?
Not that I remember. No.
Okay,
no, not familiar.
So you guys don't remember this? Mm-mm. Okay, I heard it somewhere recently, and I found it really interesting. This was like the 1989 Video Music Awards, maybe. I'm going to go ahead with that, 89, because at that point, Skid Row was quite popular, and every woman on planet Earth wanted to pin Sebastian Bach. So he goes... Skid Row, the whole band, goes to the MTV Video Music Awards. Christina Applegate is there. And she was a big star at the time. Emerging star, I should say, on the show Married with Children. She brings, as her date to the Video Music Awards, an absolutely unknown dude named Brad Pitt, who didn't have a pot to piss in 1989. Totally unnoticed, struggling actor. But, of course... everyone knows how good-looking Brad Pitt was then, and some would say even still today. Shockingly attractive. She's with Brad Pitt. This is the story that I heard recently. She meets Sebastian Bach at the after party, and, she couldn't help herself. She ditched Brad Pitt to go home with Sebastian Bach.
He put that in his book. That story was in his book, and he's done some radio interviews talking about that. But, yeah, I don't remember us bringing that up.
Okay. I couldn't quite remember where I had heard it, but I heard it recently. That's a funny story he can tell at parties until the day that he dies.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like Josh is saying, look at him now. He stole a woman away from Brad Pitt. People wouldn't believe him if they didn't know he was a rock star. We're all headed in that direction. But yeah, you mentioned a minute ago, Josh, sometimes when we start a program and use, audio from a certain celebrity, everyone always anticipates that they have met their maker. And it was a bad weekend for that kind of thing, you mentioned, Josh. We didn't really talk about the passing of Richard Simmons, did we?
No, we didn't get into any of the celebrity deaths yesterday. Too much other stuff going on.
Oh, who am I missing?
Shannon Doherty passed away.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth also passed away.
Oh, for God's sake.
I grabbed some clips of all these people in case we wanted to talk about it. Dr. Ruth on Ellen. Oh. Is that me?
The computer machine?
Give advice. You are an expert on sex.
Say sex with more enthusiasm.
Sex is you help people with sex and talk about sex and just great sex things.
Dr. Ruth confused me as a man coming of age because she talked about such dirty things, which, nowadays everybody does, right? It's not shocking anymore.
No.
Right.
But it was shocking back then, especially from a lady of her age. And somebody that looked like her, and she's a former sniper. I mean, she had such an incredible story.
She's a former sniper?
Yeah, she was a sniper for Israel.
Oh, I think maybe I had heard that before.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. It's pretty well known.
How old did she reach?
96.
Really? Okay, Shannon Doherty I wasn't terribly familiar with. That sounds very sad. She must have still been a relatively young person.
Only 53, but she'd been fighting cancer for a long time, over a decade.
Ah, Christ.
And there was a couple times where it seemed like, well, she might not make it too long. And she beat cancer, I think, once. It came back, and sadly she passed away over the weekend. Same, like you mentioned, too, Richard Simmons. He made it to 76, the fitness guru.
What killed Richard Simmons?
Well, so the day before he died, apparently he had a fall.
Oh.
And I don't know that this is exactly what caused it, but he didn't get any medical attention. So, I mean, it's quite a coincidence that, a 76-year-old falls, and unfortunately, a lot of old people kind of go out that way.
Yeah, and then we already talked about her last week, but Shelley Duvall, too.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about a couple of really original characters, Richard Simmons and Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Was that her last name?
Yeah,
Westheimer?
Westheimer. Yep.
And I'm not trying to disregard the passing of Shannon Doherty. Understand, I'm just not as familiar with her as... Dr. Ruth and Richard Simmons, there may never be anyone quite like those two folks. They were so 100% original.
After his passing, somebody shared some clips of Richard Simmons on the show. Whose line is it anyway? And oh my God, I was dying laughing.
Oh yeah, those were good.
His appearances with David Letterman were so awesome.
Those two.
Here's a tiny clip.
Hello?
Richard, your is hanging out of those shorts.
David, stop it.
Those guys, David Letterman would just go after Richard Simmons so much, and he put up with it. They had such a fun, back and forth, those two guys.
I mean, that dude, at one point or another in the 1980s, he may have been the most popular man in the world.
Yeah, he was a huge star.
He was I don't know what the word is, the pioneer, the originator of all
He's
that.
kind of the face of fitness. There's a few of them, but especially him, it seems.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think there was such a thing as aerobics until Richard Simmons came around.
What about like Jane Fonda, though?
I think she came after. I don't think she was.
That was around the same time.
Well,
who
knows?
That VHS tape that was huge.
Yeah, I just my memory tells me that Jane Fonda kind of jumped on the trend after Richard Simmons had established it, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over this. But, I mean, my God, it was... I remember watching his little aerobics program before I would go to grade school. It would be on one of the local channels, and he was just such a funny, fun person to watch. It was just... guys like Richard don't come around very often. A lot of fun.
Well, I hope Dr. Ruth died during the... like a reverse cowgirl or something like that. That'd be so fitting, wouldn't it?
It really would be.
Yeah.
Man.
I hope she just went out with some great sex.
She was an animal.
She was.
Her husband was one lucky guy. Oh, did she go through multiple husbands? I picture her being someone who went through just shredding men from town to town.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I picture, too.
Yeah, just one guy.
What?
1961 to 1997.
I thought it was
they
actually
were married.
I thought it was two guys. Is it really? It's just one?
That's what I have in front of me.
All right. So the dude died.
Manfred
was his name. He died many, many years before Ruth did.
Manfred Johnson.
I don't know. I'm not too versed on her husband.
Well, you have some kind of website in front of you?
Yeah, but it's just tough finding info on him.
We're not too worried about it, but I bet he died with a friggin' smile on his face.
He died in 1997.
Okay.
She was very funny. Again, like Richard Simmons, very original characters.
A lot of personality.
That's something right there. Back to the 80s rock conversation that we were having. Did you, Josh, did you know that one of your all-time favorite bands of all time is coming to town?
Yeah, somebody was telling me about this. I know who it was. Our promotions department.
Oh.
And I got to correct you. It's not one of my all-time favorite bands, but they're guitar players in my top 10 of guitar players.
We're talking about Extreme.
Extreme. I can't say they're one of my favorite bands, but Nuno Bettencourt is maybe even top 5. That guy's incredible.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be anyone's favorite band. They really shouldn't be.
I think even Gary Cherone admits it's not. I think even Nuno Bettencourt admits it's not his favorite band.
But they are coming to Mystic Lake Casino towards the ass end of September, and we'll have a chance for someone or another to get into the show sometime this morning on our program. One of my top 80s rock, 80s metal bros saw them the last time they came to town, and he said his D was solidly knocked into the dirt.
That's what I heard. A couple people, last time they were here, a couple people in the building went and said the exact same thing. Who were they here with? Like Warrant? I'm sorry, not Warrant. Winger?
Don't know.
I thought it was like another notable...
Didn't go to the show, but I think you're right. I think there was somebody else in the mix. Oh, Extreme.
I've never seen them live.
Oh, listen to
this. I watch
this.
a lot of Nuno stuff, though.
I don't think I ever saw him in concert either because I always wanted to karate kick that Gary Cherone dude right in the nads. And it was wrong of me to feel that way.
Yeah, I've watched some documentaries on those guys, and he seems like such a nice person.
I'm sure he is, and I
think Van Halen ruined him. I mean, the fans ruined him specifically.
Yeah, they didn't like that. Heather the Tricycle Jesus has texted in. We were talking about the passing of Richard Simmons and others. Shannon Doherty, Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Heather the Tricycle Jesus said, my mom had all the workout tapes. She had Jane Fonda. She had Richard Simmons, and she had the Miss Piggy workout tape.
Oh, I didn't know she put one together.
Nobody knew. I didn't know that either. I always had to sit there and wait to play Nintendo, he says, while she finished her workout. So, he says, I got excited when Richard Simmons came on because I knew it was almost Nintendo time. God dang.
Speaking of a Muppet character, have you guys heard the viral video of Kermit singing Gin and Juice?
No,
I didn't
yet.
How is this being done? Is this one of those AI deals?
I think it's just a dude singing.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was some kind of trick because you sometimes you play us that kind of stuff. Kermit the Frog singing Gin and Juice, which was originally sung by who?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg? Oh, it sounds great. Oh, my God. Here's an interesting question from a listener. I don't remember this story. Back to Richard Simmons. It's not 12 inches, but smells like a foot Jesus. Didn't Richard Simmons slap the out of some biker at an airport?
I hope that happened because that sounds awesome.
I don't know.
Is it the... Okay, so yeah, just a quick Google search said it was a Harley Davidson salesman.
Oh.
And it was supposed to be a joke.
Oh, okay.
This is from 2004.
Oh, that's a funny...
the story is, I guess I don't know what he did.
Funny story anyway. Oh, wow. All right. What else is going on around here? You guys don't know?
Prime Day, I guess.
What does that mean?
Oh, really?
Amazon Prime Day. Yeah. Go on Amazon. They got a lot of deals and stuff today and tomorrow.
Oh, sweet. I have Prime. I should probably check that out at some point.
This is a weekly thing, a monthly thing, a yearly
thing.
Yearly.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of a big deal.
Oh, I've never...
And
never,
then, other retailers have jumped in on this. Best Buy, Target. I'm
almost
sure
like
missing some Walmart.
Yeah, it's almost like the Black Friday for lazy people.
What do you mean lazy people?
Yeah, you just don't leave your house and you just scroll through Amazon. Hey, maybe I do need that for 70% off.
That's my favorite.
That's like Black Friday is the same way, and it's a lot of online stuff. Cyber Monday.
Yeah, true.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every damn day people order things off the internet, right?
I was just reading, a lot of stories on Prime Day, and like 76% of people do online shopping versus go to retailers. More and more people are doing that.
I mean, I can't even remember the last time I went into Target now.
Oh,
Just
really?
everything's just shipped to the house.
I was just there yesterday.
I go
I
3-4
love
times a
Target.
week.
Yeah, Target's the best.
3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
They got to get a restraining order.
They do.
How come you can't figure out how to buy everything the one time? Can you put a list together? Or
That's funny. I'm an everyday
Do
kind
we
of
need
person
to give
too,
you-
Dana.
Sometimes I just go to Target because I need to get out of the house. I need to do something.
Do we need to give you more responsibilities around here? How do you have time for something like that?
I don't understand that either. I still like to go to Target. Here's the thing. I just got a text from my friggin' wife. She's up early this morning. She's going Summers. This is news to me. She texted to say, we, as in she and I, have already spent $234 on Prime Day.
Oh, really?
Well, what did the text
And you had no idea what
No,
it is.
I don't.
That's awesome.
She handles things. I don't know how. I'm not grown up enough
so
yet
cool.
to handle things. Text me. What did we get for the $234 that you gave him in trade? Get back to me.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple things.
Yeah, what do you?
yesterday.
Okay, so I was totally unaware of this. This is once a year, really.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, a lot of folks go bananas buying things. Big discounts, Wapple said. What do you got your eye on, Josh?
Lube, big tub of lube. I'm going to make sure I get something like that.
What the hell's going on over at your house?
Nipple clamps. We're trying something new.
It's about friggin' time.
Actually, what did I legitimately look at? Oh, patio furniture.
Oh, that
that's
is
a good
not
one.
yeah,
We got-
not cheap. Not cheap.
Oh, I saw some for $400. Like a whole, what's it called? Not that's nothing, but
set.
what's it called? Sectional.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it comes with like a little table.
Those are
Wow.
nice.
That sounds like a great deal.
And an ottoman.
Wow.
Me and the friggin'
That was
wife
always so
we got
expensive when
a
we did
cool table and chairs for the patio that we never sit on. Okay, she's texted me what we've spent $234 on, but it's taken a while to get here. I'll let you know as soon as I can. Well, all right. I appreciate the heads up on that. I'm in the dark when it comes to things like that. So,
well, if you need a deal on a sectional, I can send you a link.
And yours can match Josh's.
Yeah, we can get the same one.
I told you, I already got patio furniture that we never go anywhere near. So
right now we have a deck that you just kind of stand on. We write down future couch, future chair.
Dick Bremer going to join us at 7:30 this morning alongside Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder.
Are you going to be here, Dana, or do you got to run to Target?
They don't open until 9. I'll be here.
I used to go quite often when I lived in Rogers. They had a nice Target up there. It's still in the same place. They didn't move it.
They didn't move it just because you moved it?
But I've told you this before. I used to go there for the hot dogs. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's
the cashiers.
Oh, hot women.
I remember you saying that was like the hottest chicks in that area. Were at Target.
God, I'd love. I mean, I was a younger man when I was living in Rogers.
The one
I didn't have much to do most days, so I would go to the Target for the girls and for the hot dogs. Yes, Wapple.
The one that's right over here. Oh, baby, is that a hotbed?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've never had that experience at a Target.
Oh, it's
cheated.
Are you kidding me? It's loaded with chicks. Okay, here's what I got for my friggin' wife and I got for $234 that she spent that I was totally unaware of. This is great. This big fat ass bottle that I drink out of here. You see this thing?
Oh yeah, that's new.
That seems like something you'd make fun of other people for.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's a big water bottle, I guess. It's broken.
Oh no!
Already?
Yeah. This thing's been around for years.
Oh.
So she got me a new water bottle. Ooh, a variety pack of chips.
Oh.
We just bought one of those.
Gatorade, which goes in the water bottle.
Yep.
Shampoo for the wife. Stupid. Cat food for the cat. That's unnecessary.
No, you're supposed to feed him.
Pee pads for the puppy, because we have a dog who defecates and urinates indoors and indoors only. And finally, the last item we got for $234 on Prime Day by 6:09 in the morning, something called retinol. She says, "Don't ask. It's a girl thing."
Yeah.
What is that like
cute.
for like your time of the month?
No, retinol's in
like a skin.
It's like a skin serum. Yeah, it's in a lot of different skincare products. It's very good for your skin.
So that's a pretty good take for $234.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing well.
That's some bargains.
We got to get
Dana,
going.
Later on, give us your rundown of things you'll be picking up at Target.
I will. I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, do what you got to do, son. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Former Navy SEAL Mike Ritland keeps it real on the Mike Drop podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Mitch Aguiar.
Rest is definitely important, and I think a lot of people overlook rest. I've definitely taken time off when I get injuries. If you're training while you're injured and you're not doing things correctly, I think it's better to just kind of sit out, heal. And I've done that several times where I've had to take time off, and then when I come back, people are like, "You got better."
Mike Drop, raw, unfiltered, intellectually sound, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stupid news coming up. I promise. But first, I wanted to read you a text that I received. A few minutes ago, we were talking about, over the weekend, the passing of Richard Simmons, Shannon Doherty, Dr. Ruth Westheimer. And Richard Simmons was, in the 80s, he was just massive. And
hilarious. Such a character.
Absolutely. No doubt. Got a text from a listener who obviously was a big fan. I wish I knew how to say this. Cerberus Jesus. That's my best guess. I apologize. Cerberus Jesus. dressed up as Richard Simmons for Halloween one year, and his wife went as a workout girl.
That's awesome.
That's really fun.
So I imagine maybe during the party, he gets the workout cooking. Okay, knees to your, and his wife, as the workout girl, was following his lead.
I kind of wanted to buy into that deal-a-meal that he was always pushing.
Oh, I forgot about the deal-a-meal.
Remember deal-a-meal?
Yeah. Also, this listener has a Richard Simmons Chia Pet.
Oh, cool.
Weird.
I want to see if you can still buy something like that.
The Chia Pet?
Yeah.
I do remember deal-a-meal.
Oh, yeah, you can still buy it, and it's great.
It looks good?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is awesome.
Because he had a hell of a hairdo.
He did.
Perfect for a Chia Pet.
I'm going to send this to you.
I've always loved those Chia Pets so much. My parents used to get them.
There's one that's even got the chest hair kind of poking out through the tank top, too.
Yep, that's
Perfect.
the only one. That's the one I see. Yeah. How great.
He did have some body hair as well. Here's a text from Hippie Jesus. Don't forget about Shelley Duvall. We talked about her last week.
We did, yes. Very sad, too.
On to the stupid news now. Bye, Dan.
All right, I emailed it to you if you have time to
The Richard Simmons Chia Pet.
Yeah.
I will try to get over there as quickly. I'm not the best guy when it comes to the computer.
And there's a Pee Wee Herman, not as good. RuPaul, not as good. Willie Nelson, pretty good.
Oh, the Willie Nelson Chia Pet.
Weird Al, also very good.
Oh, yeah, he's got the hairdo. He certainly does for a Chia Pet. All right. Friggin' breeders. That's one of my favorite little derogatory nicknames. Years ago, I was watching a television program, I believe, about parents versus people who don't have any interest in making kids, right? And the anti-kid people called parents breeders.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
That's funny right there. Breeders are still bound and determined to break the baby name barrier. Oh, these days, parents can't hold back. They got to come up with something out of the ordinary for their baby. And here's something on that angle. And it brings us back to something or another that Josh was telling us about yesterday. If you are in Malaysia, wherever that is, they don't want you naming your kids Skibbity, amongst others. Cubby, could you tell us about this Skibbity movement again?
So I found out more about it yesterday from the Brother and Sisterhood.
Oh, my God, the title of this email is filthy. The email that you sent me, the Richard
Simmons. It was just
Simmons.
kind of like sometimes I just write what's on my mind. That's what you're supposed to do.
Dude says he's sending me pictures or a link to the Richard Simmons Chia Pet doll.
It's just a free-flowing, like a mind map. That's my thought at that moment.
I'm going to tell our listeners, and then after the show, I'm going to tell Human Resources.
I don't even remember what I said.
The title of the email you sent to me is "I Want You in My Mouth." What in God's name is going on around here?
Okay, now I do remember typing that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You were telling us about Skibbity.
So Skibbity, it's language that if you have a middle schooler, they're probably, especially a middle school boy, it seems like they're using these terms. And it's like a YouTube or TikTok video. And so I'd asked my son yesterday, and he kind of went off about all this stuff. And then, he saw I was glazed over and said, hey, it's your fault you asked. But they don't talk about a level 10 Giat. Caked up, some other things they're saying.
Caked up.
Yeah, you got a nice butt.
Is this stuff driving you? Is it driving you nuts yet? Getting
you know what?
Banged over the head with all this goofy slang.
I think it's pretty funny listening to those guys go back and forth. He and his buddies. I mean, they deliver it very well. But what's it called? There's like a toilet Skibbity. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Some popular a song or like
Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, Skibbity toilet. That's it.
I think I have that information here in front of me.
Yeah, I think it's in the story. Yeah, that's those videos have started it.
I'll tell you about it in just a minute. Well, I told you off air yesterday, get back at these punk kids with their cute slang. You should start communicating with them using only 70s and 80s slang. So they are confused and you are confused as to what anyone is talking. Start referring to everything as far out and groovy. They won't know what the hell you're talking about.
But you're right, Ashley. You said this yesterday. All that stuff will come back.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
it
soon
always does.
And I catch, excuse me. Yesterday I was saying I was the Giga Chad, and I brought it, or Sigma Chad, and maybe Giga Chad too is a thing, but I brought it up to my son yesterday, and the Chad thing is out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, we moved past that
He
already.
looked at me like I was a loser, and here I thought I was the peak of cool.
You just proudly proclaimed that you were a Sigma Chad, and now you find out it's out now?
I missed it.
It comes and goes, Dana. Okay, here's the deal. One more time. In Malaysia, they don't want you naming your kid Skibbity, amongst others. Folks are not allowed to name their children certain names over there. And
Can you imagine, though, like down the road when Skibbity is just maybe for some it's already annoying, but it's hated down the road, and you have to explain, yeah, I got it from like this YouTube guy, there's like a toilet involved.
Right.
You have to explain that name, or my parents did that.
Hey, that's the risk people take daily around here. Do we have some, I'm sure we've discussed this before, do we have some kind of thing happening here in the States, names we can't use on our children?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some hateful stuff.
Oh, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
The obvious stuff. Okay, folks are not allowed to name their children harimau in, how do you call it, Malaysia, because it means tiger. Don't ask me to explain that. I don't know. I guess that's bad. A few days ago, now, Malaysia's National Registration Department gave folks a heads up on what they consider the do's and don'ts of naming they babies. They say parents should avoid names with negative connotations, like evil. You're not allowed to name your child evil.
Ah, darn.
Also, bodo, which means stupid, or busic, which means smelly. Now, I got to tell you, if you name your kid stupid, I'm laughing my ass off.
That is pretty funny.
That takes balls. I can just picture the little banners at the kid's birthday party. Happy birthday, stupid. That would be a riot. And furthermore, like we were just discussing, they call it Gen Z slang, like Skibbity, has made the list of names to be avoided. And here's where you were trying to find this, Josh. The term has references to a viral YouTube video series called Skibbity Toilet, where a man's head emerges from a toilet and sings to you.
What is going on?
So the folks in charge of baby names also say names that are difficult to spell and pronounce should also be avoided. Has anyone ever encountered a situation where the parents mangled the spelling of their kid's name in an effort to stand out and be special?
Like of a common name?
Yes.
I see it with my name often. People will spell it either with two E's at the end instead of ASHLEY, which, like, that's not a big deal. But what really irks me is when they spell it ASHLEIGH, like
Yeah, it's pretty
slay.
forced.
That's not Ashley.
Yes, Josh. Common names where they mangle the spelling just so the kid. Well, it's never really, in my opinion, for the kid. It's so the parents can show how creative they are. So yeah, a common name with a mangled spelling. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, I can't think of one. I mean, I mentioned before I have a couple friends who named their kids consonants, to be specific, and the pronunciation makes absolutely no sense.
Can you explain that to us?
Well, remember I wrote one down for you, and I gave you I don't want to say it out loud.
No, I get it.
I don't want to offend them.
I don't remember.
It's the one and only kid with this name, so I don't want to bust that kid. But.
I remember it. It shocked me, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah, it was pretty silly. So, like the Orangelo and Lamangelo joke we brought up yesterday, where everybody jokes that they went to school with twin brothers or brothers, Lamangelo and Orangelo,
right.
Lemon Jello, Orange Jello. The other one I hear a lot is, I haven't heard it in a little while, but Ladasha.
Yep.
That was going around. Everybody knows a Ladasha. You know that familiar? Are you familiar with that name?
No.
It's LA-A. Ladasha. I doubt that's ever happened in real life, but maybe it is a person, and everyone kind of jumped on that for a while. I have a friend who I miss Witch Witch.
Oh, God, Witch Witch rule.
I was addicted to Witch Witch, and you'd write your name on the bag, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then a friend of mine would always write Ladasha. That was that was her thing, Ladasha.
I can give you one example of an alternate spelling, but when I was a kid, I thought it was really cool, and I still do. There are subtle little things you can do without being completely obnoxious about it. I grew up with a kid named Drew, and it was D-R-Y-W, and I thought that was the coolest friggin' thing in the whole... And he was a cool kid, and we were pretty tight when we were real young. D-R-Y-W for Drew. I thought that was rock star stuff.
I knew a Kim that her name was spelled K-Y-M, so we call her Kime.
Yeah, I remember the
You
first
had
time.
to.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever met a Jeff with the G-E-O-F-F spelling.
A G-off?
That was what everybody called him, G-off.
I still remember that was 7th grade, the first time I met a kid named Jeff, where it was G-E-O-F-F, like Jeff Tate from Queensryche, and I could not. What? What is that? But I was just a stupid 7th grade kid.
I know a person. Well, we used to work with a person who had a name, a relatively common name, but they pronounced it differently than the rest of the world does, and they would get very offended when somebody didn't understand that was their name.
Can you dump this on us?
No, I probably shouldn't. But I can write it down for you. But it was just a name, like a person would just read this name as something else, right? And maybe they were just tired of hearing it over the years.
Well, I remember a gal who the way I always said it out loud was Cassandra. And then when I finally addressed her firsthand and said, "Hello, Cassandra," oh, did she give me a dirty look. And she said,
Cassandra?
She said, "It's pronounced Cassandra."
Okay, take yourself more seriously.
There's some of those, right?
She put me in my place, Cubby.
There's some of those.
All right, back to these names in Malaysia. They're awful strict. Names should be kept short as well. The maximum number of characters allowed on a child's birth certificate in Malaysia is 80. And let me tell you something. If you've gone 80 effing characters and you're not done spelling a name, you've gone too far.
Absolutely.
Okay, you've written down the name of this individual we used to work with. You're saying that there's one very common pronunciation.
The first one you think. Yeah.
Yeah. But they went by something else?
No, that's the name they went by. But if you mispronounced it, like the boxer, very upset.
Oh, I see. The spelling is very different.
Right. If you look at the spelling, you think, oh, that's this.
Right.
But it wasn't. Which makes, but it wasn't. And
the
so
same name as a popular boxer.
Offending. So it's your Cassandra thing.
Yes. All right, on the topic of wacky names, maybe you remember a fella called Batman Superman?
Mm-hmm.
He made the news a few years ago when he got arrested for breaking into somebody's house while on heroin.
Oh.
Was this his, I don't remember the details, was this his given name, or did he change it because he's a lunatic?
I thought he changed it.
Okay, well, that's a different story. Batman, Superman.
Slapnut Jesus said his mom taught kindergarten in Minneapolis for years. 20 years ago, she did have a Ladasha in her classroom. So that's patient zero. An L-A-A, Ladasha. Does anybody here know my middle name? Nick, you do, right?
Yes, I do.
No, I don't.
Mm-mm. Okay, so I wonder if you can guess it by the spelling. L-I-S-L-E.
Lyle?
Lyle, yeah, nice. A lot of people say Leslie.
Leslie?
Yeah, that's what I was.
My,
Josh Leslie Bitney?
My grandpa's first name was Lyle, and then my dad's middle name. And that's how they spelled it.
Isn't that pretty often around here? We find something out about each other, Josh, that truly shows that we were meant to be together. We really were. Some of the similarities, some of the events that took place in our lives before we even met each other, are so similar that I think it shows that we were meant to spend the rest of our lives together and die hand in hand.
I agree. It is. It's weird sometimes.
It is. It really is. And here's another example. Your middle name is Lyle. That was a name that my dad wanted to dump on me when I was fresh out the chute.
I like the name. What, the normal spelling?
Yes. My dad wanted Walter, Lyle, or Oscar to be the names. And God, I wish he would have won that argument.
Love the name Walter.
Yeah, my dad wanted to go Max.
Walter,
Max is cool.
Walter, Lyle, Oscar were those are the names my dad wanted, and my mom, had to be difficult about it. But there's just another little sign that.
I used to get called the wrong name a lot. People would always call me Jason. I would hear that growing up. They just, didn't necessarily pay attention, or I don't know what. Just kind of, Josh didn't come to mind, so they call me Jason.
They knew it started with a J, and they took a cut.
Do you know how to spell Nick's middle name? It's easy. Danger. His middle name is Danger.
I did know that now that you mention it.
Step lightly. One more little note on stupid names. In 20 plus 15, I think we talked about this. I don't think we talked about it all the way back in 20 plus 15. I think it was more recent. A French court blocked a set of stupid parents from naming their baby girl Nutella, which is some kind of hip peanut butter or something.
Yeah, it's a hazelnut spread.
It's kind of like a chocolatey hazelnut thing.
The court made that decision to save the kid from being mocked.
Underwhelmingly optimistic, Jesus said years ago he worked for a guy whose parents misspelled his name, and it was annoying because he'd always correct them. He'd be pissed. It's pronounced Gene, not a-hole.
Gene. I like that name.
I like that name, too.
The full name is the way I like to dump it out. Eugene.
By the way, somebody asked me to tell you Nick to calm down. K-N-I-C-K. Tell Nick to calm down.
All right. It's a safe bet that some of you is listening right now. Some of you are supposed to be working, but you're effing off instead. You're fingering the cell phone or something like that. And I ain't mad at you. Who doesn't F off at work now and again? For Christ's sake, we're not robots. But if you push the effing off too far, you could find yourself smooth out of a job. A school teacher from India, it says here, India, he got himself canned when the bosses found out how much time he was spending playing a video game called Candy Crush.
Oh, yeah.
It's very addicting.
My wife
people.
cheated on me with Candy Crush. I begged her for attention for a while. She gave Candy Crush all of her attention.
I never played it.
Never saw it.
Don't.
No,
It's a temptress that is tough to quit.
Never saw it. I'm more of a Marble Lines guy.
I'm an Angry Birds guy.
Oh, I used to love Angry Birds.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Says here now then, out of the 5.5 hours of teaching that this guy was responsible for every day, the teacher, a pimp by the name of Priyam Goyal, out of the 5.5 hours that he was supposed to be dumping knowledge on the kids, he spent nearly 2 hours playing Candy Crush. He also talked on the telephone for about a half hour and finger-banged social media for another half hour. So that's a total of 3 full F-off hours compared to 2.5 hours of actual work, and that ratio did not fly with his bosses.
I can't imagine it would.
Yeah, they're not going to like that. Most places.
This cakewalk routine, this is my favorite part of the story. This cakewalk routine that the teacher had every day was exposed when someone noticed that the kids in his class were dumb as rocks. Someone noticed that these kids' test scores were just piss poor. The kids were just, because dude wasn't. Then they checked his cell phone and saw how much time he was playing around with the Candy Crush and the social media and all that mess. The bosses at the school had this here to say. They said teachers should focus on checking the classwork and homework of students and ensure that they get quality education. Using mobile phones is not a problem, but using them for personal reasons during school hours is not right.
Nah, you probably should focus on the gig.
He effed that all up, didn't he, Cubby?
He did.
He effed it up.
Candy Crush. You don't hear people talk about that game much anymore.
No, it used to be so hot, though.
Massive.
Never saw it.
I never played it either, but like Angry Birds, I got really into that to the point where, like, on a Saturday night, instead of going to the bar, I'd stay home and play Angry Birds. I was that addicted to it for a while.
That's what I used to say when people didn't invite me to it. Now it's all Wordle and Pitfall.
Uh-huh.
Boy, did you like Pitfall back in the day, Nick?
Pitfall?
Loved it.
Sure I did.
My uncle, who had a motorcycle, a leather jacket, and a tarantula and a piranha, also had an Atari, and we'd play Pitfall. So fun.
Man, he had all the tricks, all the trinkets that an attention-starved guy would need.
Yeah, you know, the one thing he didn't have that you'd expect, and you notice I didn't mention it, was a woman. Not one.
Hang on a second. A tarantula?
And a piranha.
A piranha.
Yeah. And a leather jacket, and actually several motorcycles.
Okay, that helps his
and
image.
And a lifted truck.
That helps his image.
He took me on his motorcycle very fast, and I, as a little kid, and I said, hey, I'm a little nervous, and he told me I was a bitch.
Good.
Good?
Well, you were kind of being a bitch.
Well, yeah, I was a 10-year-old on the back of a motorcycle going 140 miles an hour. I expressed some concern, and I guess that does make me a bitch.
Yeah, well, he had a tarantula and a piranha. What did you say, a piranha?
Yeah, a piranha.
Yeah, okay.
And what I'd imagine to be a huge hog.
Oh, massive.
Definitely.
Now who's the bitch? Uncle Bitch.
You dorks will maybe dig this. A British man who would go around town carrying a 6-inch replica Legend of Zelda sword.
Sweet.
He claimed it was a fidget toy. He's been sentenced to 4 months in jail. He goes by the name of Anthony Bray. He's 48 years old. He was stopped by police in his neighborhood there in British after security cameras showed him carrying something suspicious. Cops saw he was carrying a blade.
The guy from the mailroom? Blade?
Oh, don't get me. I'll lose my train of thought completely. Love that bit. Hello, this is Blade in the mailroom. How can I help you? Okay. Bray, the dork with the little Zelda sword, he said it's an imitation of the Master Sword from Zelda. It was a fidget toy that he bought online to keep his hands busy. And speaking of that, have you seen my fidget spinner?
No.
I haven't. I lost it a long time ago. I can't find it.
You don't see those as much anymore.
What the hell? Wapple, have you seen my fidget spinner anyway?
No.
What about his baseball? Have you seen his baseball?
No, I don't have his baseball.
It was crazy. The fidget spinner thing was nuts. Everybody had those things. Our old promotions director used to have 2 of them.
I loved those
And
things.
he'd use 2 at the same
They
time.
were the hottest thing in America for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I think I might have one in my prod box in the other studios.
I also don't see pop sockets as much as I used to.
No, those things faded too.
I never used one of those.
You don't take too many photos.
Well, I thought it was just like a easier way to hold your phone. It's
Yeah,
more
like
photos.
take a selfie.
Oh.
That is one of the
check it out.
Yeah, the very useful things.
I don't even consider selfies. I see what you're saying. I was picturing like taking photos of 15 guys beating up one guy who's already unconscious.
Yep.
Yeah.
The type of things you see on the street nowadays.
So again, this guy tells the cops, yeah, I've got myself an imitation Legend of Zelda sword, but it's to keep my hands busy. It's a fidget toy.
Gonna fidget someone's head right off.
Do you have something like that, Dana? You got to have one of the either a Mario question mark box or some sort of Zelda sword.
Oh yeah, I don't have any Zelda swords, but I have plenty of like Mario question boxes and stuff, like Lego sets of a question box, things like that.
Do you have any Zelda merch? I mean, you said you wanted to name your kid Zelda.
Yeah. I mean, I have some Zelda trinkets and stuff, but nothing too crazy.
What you need is a motorcycle.
I do, and a tarantula.
No. You got this all wrong. The motorcycle is what helped Josh's uncle not be the biggest dork in town.
And he did race motorcycles, by the way, which is pretty cool.
That is sweet.
Worked up at Brainerd.
What's a guy who races motorcycles doing with a tarantula and a piranha?
He's overkill.
Does he not understand the contradiction there?
It was overkill. He trained the tarantula to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, my God.
That's badass.
Please let me get to this guy here real quick, because I'm even sick of hearing about him. He's got the thing in his hand. Okay, whatever. We'll go to the next story.
I'm shocked you don't have a lot of Zelda. You love Zelda.
I do love Zelda, yeah.
You can get a Zelda sword on Amazon Prime Day.
I mean, I have plenty of like dorky Zelda coffee table books.
Wait, why do you need more than one?
Please.
Cummins on you, Jesus said, do you remember the fidget spinner butt plug? Yes, I remember us talking about that. I do remember that. I think that's the day where I learned butt plugs can have some flair. I didn't know about the tails and, like you can have words on it, stuff like that.
I
had no idea the technology.
Yeah, it even lights up, too.
Oh, they'll light up.
That could be helpful. I mean, it can be a dark place back there, a very dark place.
All right, I got to ask you, Cubby. Or I guess anyone else on the panel here. Is anyone else having this problem? My foot fetish is really getting the better of me these days.
You hate feet, I thought.
You know my friggin' wife, right? We talked about her earlier.
Yeah, I know.
The other night, I just went ahead and I put her entire foot in my mouth. I took the whole thing.
Wow.
Like the foot whore that I am. I'm insatiable. My foot fetish is getting the better of me.
I mean, you must have been edging for a while because you used to say you hated feet, but now you're into it. Huh?
Yep.
Ashley, how about you? Have you made an about face on this too?
Nope.
You hate feet
Nope,
still?
still hate feet.
All right, here we go. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, oh, weird, a model making money on the internet. But I'm going to go ahead anyway. A foot model is selling wine on the godless internet. And as you probably already figured out, the wine is made from grapey grapes that she smashes with her own little naked bare feet. $130 a bottle is what she wants in trade.
Jeez.
Emily Ray is the gal's name. She calls herself a, quote, foot fetish icon.
Oh, the grape lady.
I love that lady.
What? No, that was the friggin' wife when I put her foot in my mouth.
Oh, it was? I'm sorry. I played the wrong clip.
Writhing in ecstasy. So this
that's what that sounded like.
Yeah. This gal needs to get over herself, but I'm gonna keep going anyway. Here's what her gig is. She makes a living uploading photos and videos of herself standing in baked beans or squishing birthday cake in between her toes for guys who want to whack off. Now she's squashing grapes for wine. More evidence that this lady is an arrogant moron. She said that she's sure that her fans would gladly pay $130 just for a taste of her feet. The wine is just a bonus, is more or less how she comes off. She also claims she risked her life to make the wine. Now, it's great that we played the audio of the... Dude, she says she came flying off the wine stomping platform and down onto the ground, just like that news lady you just heard from all those years ago.
Yeah, sure. Not disgusting. All right, you ready? Give us a 30-second time. Here we go. So what's the deal here? There's a contest to stomp, and how are you measuring who does the best stomping?
Whoever stomps the most shoes wins an overnight stay, but it's not the only thing you can do. Well, if grape stomping's not your thing, you can come and spend the day listening to live music, eating international foods, having wine tours and tastings. It's a lot of fun, a whole day.
And then the announcers at the end.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there.
Okay.
Gosh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she was. She was messed up.
Is that the greatest thing that ever happened to the internet?
Oh, yes.
It's up there.
I even love it when she's like, oh, turn off the camera. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
that poor lady.
Is that what pretty much started the internet?
You know, you wonder because you think back like the Chocolate Rain guy or the Charlie Bit My Finger video. Some of these huge videos.
I like turtles.
Yeah, I like turtles. I mean, that was much later, but the grape lady.
She started
if you're
everything.
Of a certain age, everyone knows the poor grape lady.
Yeah, she started. Okay, and back to this model. I guess she said in the process of trampling on the grapes, just like the news lady there, she said, I nearly lost my life. It was very slippery. She's standing in this half barrel. She was stomping away, and the next minute she goes flying off the table. We don't have any audio of her tragedy. We don't.
We do, actually.
I had gonorrhea.
Oh, no.
True story.
I don't understand a lot of the new slang terms and whatnot, like we covered yesterday. Is this insulting? She calls the wine simp wine. She refers to her fans as simps. Isn't that a derogatory term?
I always thought it was.
It kind of used to be, but not so much anymore on Twitter. It's kind of gone the other way. Like the men that are simps are embracing it.
So, isn't a simp somebody like back in the day we'd say pee-whipped?
Yeah, like that. Yep. You can get them to do anything. They lust over you constantly.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Woof.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get into this again later with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Also, Dick Bremer going to join us in about a half hour. But that was the national anthem before last night's, how do they call it, home run showdown.
I saw a funny joke. Somebody said, I've never heard the national anthem sung in cursive. And that's kind of what it was last night.
Had you heard of this lady here?
I had before this. You had?
Yep.
She goes by the name of Ingrid Andress, a country singer?
Yeah, she sings a song called Ladylike that I really like. And so this is kind of a bummer.
I mean, do they vet? I mean, do they vet these people?
Did they not do like a rehearsal or something?
Yeah, you'd think that they'd sing it once and somebody might go, yeah, we're canceling the anthem. I'm sorry, we'll bring somebody else in. That was really rough.
That was bad.
This Ingrid Andress is the latest singer to mangle our national anthem at a live ball game. It was pretty bad. I was watching live, and I actually asked my friggin' wife if she knew the singer and if she was deaf. That's
well,
how
she's tone deaf. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think she's deaf.
She was all over the place. There were a lot of confused faces, and it's a damn shame. I mean, I don't know. Could she not hear herself in the earpiece?
There had to have been some, because there's no way she's not self-aware enough to realize that was awful, right? If she could hear what was going on, don't you think? If she's performing live, I'm assuming touring. You said she's kind of a big star, Ashley, or maybe you didn't say that.
Well, she's on the radio, so I mean, she's pretty popular.
There has to be an explanation behind this.
I would think so. Maybe she's sick.
And
she has Meniere's disease.
Really, she didn't look all too well, too.
No, that's what I thought, Wapple. I thought she looked a little off.
She almost looked kind of strung out.
For a little while, it's going to be rough for Fergie. Everyone had said Fergie was terrible, her national anthem. It's going to be rough because everybody's comparing her to Fergie, but eventually she's going to be off the hook. In the future, people are going to forget about Fergie and talk about this one.
You know who this singer looked like? Kimberly Drummond from Different Strokes, but that doesn't matter. It really, honestly, if she couldn't hear herself, that makes a massive difference. One time when we were broadcasting at the State Fair, I put on a set of headphones, and something was wrong with the headphones, a wicked delay. I could not hear myself at all. And when I listened back to the broadcast, I did not sound like the same person when you can't hear yourself. So there's got to be something behind it. It was brutal. Teoscar Hernandez won the home run derby. We'll get into all this nonsense with Randy Shaver, Dick Bremer. What's the other guy's name? Brad Ryder. Josh's News is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Let's get into season 4, episode 21, Forever.
Is there a button we can hit that just skip?
I know. What I'm surprised about, and I don't think there's anything he could have done, but James Marshall directed this, and he's directed so many great episodes.
It's collecting the paycheck.
This would have been an epic episode if somehow it was Lex Luthor's high school experience and graduation.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Somebody call 911, please. They hit us and they're freaking out. I don't know. Somebody call 911, please.
Ohio's best-known weatherman has deleted his social media and vanished from screens after he was filmed in a road rage incident that left an elderly couple bleeding and unconscious.
Ohio's best-known weatherman?
He's the weather guy. He is Mr. Weather there.
What the hell is going on now?
Veteran WCPO forecaster Steve Raleigh was with his sons Kyle and Carter when their Cadillac Escalade plowed into a Ford F-150 after failing to yield to oncoming traffic. Moments later, the Ford driver, 79-year-old Douglas Murrow, was on the ground next to his 76-year-old wife Lois, who suffered a fractured skull, bleeding on the brain, and a detached retina.
Oh, God dang!
Again, the dude's almost 80 and she's 76. The Cadillac is owned by the weatherman's father-in-law, former Hamilton County Sheriff and attorney Simon Lease Jr. And pressure is growing on Cincinnati police to explain why there have been no arrests since the June 22nd incident, which also saw an intervention from Red Sox legend Kevin Youkilis.
Are you serious? He hit a woman. Yes. Listen to me. He's pulling blood.
These were locally famous people, and in my opinion, believe they are above the law, wrote the couple's daughter on social media. She said the famous family became enraged when her father decided to call police because he smelled alcohol and suspected they'd been drinking. The weatherman's 28-year-old son, Carter, is thought to have been driving his grandfather's car when it hit the Murrow's F-150. Youkilis took to Facebook to deny rumors he'd been with the rallies on the evening after he was recognized in the footage, insisting he simply chanced to cross the incident while in town to broadcast a Red Sox-Reds game.
Well, this sounds very dramatic and shady. And it just so happened that former big leaguer Kevin Youkilis was on the scene of the accident.
Yeah, and he went to defend this couple.
So much happening here.
I know.
And now I need to know where I'm going to get my Ohio weather, now that this guy's not going to do it anymore.
Well, I bet the person who's waiting in the wings is there for you to tell you what it's going to be like over there.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
There's so much blood. What happened? What the hell? Is that Kevin Youkilis?
And he came to their rescue. A Publix in Palm Bay, Florida was evacuated and 20 people treated after a bug bomb went off when it was dropped inside the supermarket. The strange incident yesterday morning led to 20 people treated for respiratory issues while crews searched for the cause of the smell, which turned out to be the bug bomb, which hit the floor and farted poison.
Palm Bay fire officials say emergency crews treated 20 people for breathing problems after the bug bomb fell off a shelf and activated as it hit the ground.
All 20 victims were treated and released.
Oh, man.
I've never dangled with a bug bomb.
I haven't either.
I kind of want to get one.
I didn't know you could buy something like that. I thought maybe that was just left for professionals.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I want a damn bug bomb.
While 2 people have been arrested in connection with an attempted robbery in Orange County earlier this month, authorities are warning Southern Californians to be vigilant of approaching strangers who appear to want a hug. The hugging robbers, they're calling them. A victim reported a robbery attempt July 2nd. The man told authorities a male driver parked his vehicle in front of his driveway while a female passenger exited the suspect's car, approached him with arms out for a hug, and attempted to forcibly rob him of a gold chain around his neck.
And then here comes former Red Sox shortstop Nomar Garciaparra. Was Nomar Garciaparra on the scene?
No professional athletes there that I'm aware of.
I'm sorry I blew up.
Police say it was later determined the same suspects were possibly involved in similar incidents in surrounding counties as well. A day later, investigators located 2 suspects, and this time they were embraced by the long arm of the law. A subsequent search of the suspects' vehicles yielded approximately 50 pieces of jewelry belonging to different victims.
Strangers walk up, They act like they want to hug you,
Yeah, they got a lady that comes up to hug you.
and then they lift all your belongings out of your pockets.
WAPO was part of the Bangin' Bandits.
No.
Where they'd go up and request some intercourse.
I remember that phase.
A West Palm, I let them rob me like 30 times.
It was the weirdest thing. We just kept going back to him and back to him.
Guys, I got more jewelry. A West Palm Beach police officer was arrested Friday after a woman accused him of exposing himself while in uniform. A police spokesperson said a man had called police to help evict his girlfriend. He'd begun to throw the woman's belongings out of the house when 33-year-old officer James Bush arrived. Bush told the man to leave, then approached the girlfriend and asked if she wanted to go upstairs and have some fun. The woman said Bush led her to a guest bedroom where he unzipped his pants, exposed himself, and tried to force her to perform oral. He even offered her $2,000 to, quote, get your own place. The police spokesperson didn't say how the woman responded, how long Bush was alone with her, or what preceded his exit from the home. He only said that Bush left and the boyfriend returned. The boyfriend called 911 again, this time at 1 p.m., to tell police he wanted a restraining order against the woman, which was when Bush returned to the home with another officer. The woman told the second officer what Bush did and said she had video proof. Officer Bush grabbed her phone during a struggle and deleted that video. Bush admitted to some of the elements of the crimes and was relieved of duty. Cops did recover that video, but didn't say yet what was on it.
Oh, he sounds a little creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe he should be out of a job. Footage captured a mother's breasts fall out of her top as she hurled stones at her neighbor's window in a 5 a.m. attack in Liverpool, England.
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it does.
Amy Murphy launched the attack on the victim after drinking vodka with friends. The 22-year-old mom of two launched rocks and broke roof tiles at the window of the home, broken roof tiles at the window of the home in a fit of rage due to her being asked to stop making a racket in the street. But as she hurled the projectiles, the victim filmed Murphy and captured footage of her yard donkeys busting out of her top before she hurriedly put them back in. What Murphy's lawyer called extremely unattractive footage was played in court as Murphy watched.
Oh, no.
He could have used a different word. Like, oh, man.
I saw a video years ago on some wacky website of a rather large lady beating up her boyfriend in the middle of the street. And I'm telling you, she whooped his ass. And it got to the point where he just kind of laid on the street and kind of turtled. You know, she had whooped him pretty good. In the process of the ass whooping that she delivered on this guy, her entire ass came out the back of her pants, and both of her massive breasts are swinging around during the attack, and she did not give a pump.
Too mad to care?
Just too
focused.
mad. I mean, everyone in the neighborhood's got their cell phone out. She did not care. I'm going to whoop this guy's ass and worry about my jugs and my ass later.
Now, her lawyer's trying to say, yeah, I know this doesn't look very good for my client. You're watching this video of her throwing these things, but instead, as her boobs fall out, he says, extremely unattractive footage. Or maybe that's what he meant.
It's bogus.
Just like viewer discretion is advised in the courtroom.
Like, these are some horrible breasts, I'll admit.
You do not want to look.
You finally found a bad pair?
I guess so. I'm not saying that. I'm suggesting maybe that's the lawyer was thinking.
Oh.
I'm assuming he's just saying, yeah, it doesn't look good for her.
Unattractive as in not good for her image.
Murphy said she doesn't recall the incident and claimed her drink may have been spiked. She's facing up to 16 weeks in jail.
16 weeks, they call it, yeah.
Here's a phone call that would suck to get. Thousands of patients who were treated at 2 hospitals in Portland, Oregon, are being told to get blood tests because of an infection control breach that may have exposed them to HIV and hepatitis B and C.
Oh, wow, that's a huge mess up.
Yeah. About 2,400 people who were patients at 2 healthcare providers, Providence and Legacy Health, are potentially affected and have been advised to take tests out of an abundance of caution. A hospital spokesperson said the possible exposure could be traced back to Josh's mom. What the hell?
Oh, wow. How'd that get in there?
God dang.
That's terrible. A third-party contractor who worked at the facility from December to May of last year is suspected to have been infected, which could have led to others getting sick with exposure to that person. The anesthesiologist is no longer employed by that contract. It seems like it's high time to start prepping for Armageddon. Costco has you covered, if that's the case. The wholesaler is selling the Ultimate Apocalypse Dinner Kit, which lasts a quarter century and costs under $100. Manufactured by ReadyWise, a company that sells long-term survival food, the Emergency Food Supply Variety Pack contains 150 servings of freeze-dried food, including pasta Alfredo, cheesy macaroni, teriyaki rice, creamy pasta and vegetables, potato pot pie, as well as soups, cereals, and more.
Dang.
Doomsday preppers simply need to add water to the vittles, and they won't go hungry when disaster hits. This assortment isn't just a temporary fix, it's a long-term solution, Costco wrote on its website. It's a tangible expression of your dedication to ensuring you and your loved ones are cared for no matter what lies ahead. Costco also offers other apocalypse kits, including a Mountain Hose Asian-inspired freeze-dried kit, Mountain House, not hose, which entails 48 servings of Far East-inflected freeze-dried foods for $179, and a Mountain House cooked ground beef with 135 servings. Costco also sells a 100-pack of extra lubricated, extra thin condoms for $21.99.
Oh,
that's
wonderful.
a deal.
Survival kit, huh?
Yep.
I'm way ahead of you.
Are you?
Way ahead of you. Those all sound like delicious meals.
Yeah.
I just wonder how easy they'll be to enjoy with the sound of survivors screaming and pounding on the door of your bomb shelter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you heard me say Alfredo and cheese macaroni. I could probably get through that.
You think so?
Even without the apocalypse, it sounds like a pretty good deal. That's a lot of meals.
I was going to say, yeah. Don't even need to wait for the apocalypse. I'll just eat that for dinner tonight.
Sounds like a bargain.
The food is so good, it lasts you like a day of the apocalypse.
We really should be rationing here.
Dana, you just ate enough food for a month. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game airs tonight on Fox. The first season finale of Star Wars The Acolyte is streaming now on Disney+. Then on Netflix, the stand-up special Chad Daniels' Empty Nester. Will Ferrell, 57 today. Former Vikings kicker Gary Anderson turned 65.
Oh, wow.
Sending some good brother and sisterhood vibes to Commercial Recycling Jesus and his family. Their house caught fire Sunday night, and so they're out of their home for a while. It's rough.
Christ.
Please join us in welcoming Paxton to the Brotherhood. Dad, surgery-loving Jesus, said his big sister Lennon. Can't wait to meet him. Happy belated birthday to dishwasher dude guy Jesus' daughter Bella, who turned the big 05 a couple days ago. Happy 40th to Tom, turning 40 today, which would make sense. Happy 40th. From your bro Actuator Jesus, and that's 93X News.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there. Oh, my goodness gracious. There it goes!
On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Oh, he's got it go! Good luck! Oscar Hernandez is your 2024 T-Mobile Home Run Derby champ.
You told me before this that you don't like hitting home runs during pregame batting practice. Now you are the Home Run Derby champion. How did you pull this off?
Man, this is amazing, man. There's no word I can describe what I'm feeling in front of my family, in front of everybody that is here.
And in closing, I'd like to say I look exactly like Mike Conley Jr., and it's kind of creepy. Teoscar Hernandez does. If you think the lineups for tonight's All-Star game, if you think the lineup for tonight's game is impressive, looky who we got right here. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, and the living legend himself, Dick Bremer. How you doing, Dick?
I'm doing fine. I'm way out in western Minnesota. I'm going to try my hand at catching some jumbo perch here in a little bit.
Oh, cool. Man, that sounds great. Perch.
Where are you at, Dick, exactly? Well, I'm not going to tell you the lake I'm going to fish on because I expect I'm going to do well. But right now I'm parked in a parking lot in Chicago, Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, come on, Brad Ryder. You know a good fisherman doesn't give away his hot spot.
I wanted to know if he was on my lake or if he was close to my lake.
I know you would come racing out there in a little 16-foot boat with a 10-horse on the back with your brand new fishing hat. Oh, hey, Dick, what are you doing out here?
Have you heard about my hole-in-one? You know.
Hey, yep.
Hey, perch fishing. Perch are delicious to eat, are they not, Dick Bremer?
They are maybe my favorite fish, fresh or saltwater fish to eat. They're just delicious and they're fun to catch, and we'll see how we do here later today.
All right, and then I imagine, are you not leaving for Cooperstown in the next few days?
Yeah, I'll be out there. Really, really looking forward to it. This will be my fourth induction that I've been to. A long, long time ago, I was working with Harmon Killebrew on the broadcast, and he was inducted back in 1984. And I was at the induction ceremony, and I remember thinking, well, this is just awesome. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And then I went back years later for Bert Blyleven's induction a couple of years ago, Tony Oliva's and Jim Cott's induction, and I'm really excited to be there for Joe's as well.
And, that'll be Sunday afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct on that when Joe goes?
Yep.
Okay. Randy Shaver, you've said before, am I correct on this? This is Cooperstown, that's one of your favorite places in the whole world.
Absolutely. And the great thing about it, I'm sure Dick will agree, is the place has never changed. I mean, I was there, I want to say Puckett and Winfield when they both went in together, and I don't remember the year. And then I was there, like Dick was, with Tony and Jim. And Cooperstown was the same. The village hadn't changed. It was still quaint and beautiful, and the area was filled with baseball fans. And it's just, if you are truly a baseball fan, you have to go to Cooperstown. It's in the middle of nowhere. You're going to drive and you're going to go, where in the world is this place? But once you get there, it is, for a baseball fan, it's magical. It really is. It's a very, very cool place.
Now, this is going to be really special to see Joe Mauer, go in on Sunday for many, many different reasons. Now, we only know Joe a little bit. Do you think Randy Shaver and Dick Bremer, you guys know him pretty well, do you think he'll be able to hold it together? Joe doesn't seem like a really emotional guy. What do you think we're going to see out of him on Sunday?
Well, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get really emotional for a number of reasons, not the least of which is his dad passed away, a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And his dad was such a central figure in his life and really aided his development as a great athlete. So I'm sure Joe's going to reference his father, and I don't know any of us that could stand in front of God and the world and make a speech and reference, someone that we really dearly loved who's not able to share that experience with him without getting emotional. So I'm not a betting man, but I'm pretty sure he'll get pretty emotional, maybe more than once during his speech.
Yes, I forgot about that. Good point. Yeah. And you know what? Let her buck, Joe Mauer. We're all excited and very proud of you. So we'll be looking for that on Sunday. Okay, so last night, Teoscar Hernandez of the Los Angeles Dodgers won that home run derby showdown. It was fun. I watched quite a bit of it. It came down to the final between Hernandez and Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. Did everyone get a good chunk of this or what?
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah?
I loved it.
Did you, Dick Bremer, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, did you try out the home run derby again this year?
I unfortunately did not see it. I was hanging with my son and family, so did not watch it last time.
Okay, that's all right.
I did not watch it either. I think it's probably gained almost as much significance, if not more so, than the game itself. But I'll be watching the game tonight. But I passed on the home run derby.
I hear you, and I understand.
I'm with Dick. I'm with Dick too. You watch it a little bit, and it seems so repetitive, and I will watch the game most definitely, but I didn't really have interest in that.
It is really repetitive, and I don't know how the hell you watched the whole thing, Wapple. I mean, my God.
I had nothing to do.
Certainly towards the end, it gets a little bit interesting at the end, but take it or leave it. I mean, it's a good time waster and whatever. It's fun to see the players horsing around with their fans. So it was a good enough show. Tonight is the night, the All-Star game itself. Starting at, I think it's 7 o'clock on Fox. Who do you like? My God, the lineup is obviously impressive on both sides. I know, Randy Shaver, you're probably very excited for your new favorite rookie pitcher to be starting for the National League, Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Excited to see him pitch against the great players in the American League. And I'd love to hear what Dick has to say about him, because I just think he is a fabulous baseball player, and the future is just, I mean, if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, how can you not be excited about a kid who 2 months ago was in AAA, and here he jumps on the scene. Everybody knew he was going to end up here. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And, he's just exploded on the scene. I mean, he's just been dominant. And then he earns the start in the All-Star game, which is even more incredible. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it pitch tonight.
I am too, and it's not that uncommon for a position player to step up to the big leagues abruptly, like Skeens has, and dominate, and hit for a high average, hit for power, and all that. But it's not very often you see a pitcher do what he has done. Just kind of burst on the scene and dominate right away. Valenzuela comes to mind. Steven Strasburg was, worthy of the hype as well. But I'm really looking forward to see how he fares. And can you imagine the young guy was, a year ago in college, and now, he's going to face three guys. And Juan Soto said if it comes, he's going to guarantee that if the first two guys are retired, he's going to get on base so that Skeens can face Aaron Judge hitting cleanup.
That's awesome.
That'll be something to see. I mean, I always love the All-Star game. Never miss it. And, I mean, like I said, the lineups are just incredible. The starting pitcher on the American League side, Corbin Burns of the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles are well represented in this year's All-Star game. So this much I know. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? This much I do know. Whoever's singing the anthem tonight does not have big shoes to fill.
No. Oh, that was terrible.
Ooh-wee. I don't know if you guys didn't watch it. There was a gal who sang the anthem last night before the Home Run Derby by the name of Ingrid Andress, and she struggled quite a bit. She did. The players were trying not to laugh.
That was my favorite part.
I mean, do we dare play it, or?
Well, these guys need a dose of what, in case they didn't hear it.
Okay, it's rough.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Get it.
Saved us.
The ending is really bad.
Spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free.
I don't know what she's trying to do. I just don't know what happened.
Don't play that while you're out fishing, or don't weigh any fish.
Yeah.
I remember the Twins, when they would have Twins Fest at the Metrodome, they would have throughout the days auditions for the national anthem to be sung during the regular season.
Yep.
And I heard some really awful renditions of the national anthem. That might be worse than all of them. That was terrible.
I don't know what happened there. There were some confused faces. Someone texted in and said, this gal has won 4 Grammys?
Well, I know she was nominated.
Yeah, she hasn't won 4.
I don't think
she's
she's
nominated.
Well, whatever. Close enough. Nominated. Yeah, for singing.
For singing?
Well, she usually sings country, so maybe it's just a different vibe. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something where she couldn't hear herself, or she was sick or something.
Yeah, I like to give her the benefit of the doubt, but that was pretty bad.
That was.
No, I feel for people who give it a shot and forget the words or get mixed up with the lyrics. I mean, hey, that can happen to anybody, right? But and the poor young woman didn't perform well last night, but somebody heard that and said, "Yeah, that's good. Let's put her on."
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Hopefully, at one point she must have been good. Oh, that was so bad. Poor lady.
It can happen. I don't know. I mean, we've seen some great performances over the years, haven't we, with the national anthem? Oh, also, again, one of our favorites is when the Cubs put a rock star or, well, I guess not a rock star is not a good example. When the Cubs put an ex-athlete up there to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, some of them ruin the living hell out of that. William Hung, remember when it didn't sound like he wanted peanuts and Cracker Jacks? It sounded like he wanted something completely different. Yesterday, Dick Bremer, we got to go back and forth on what we thought of the first half of the Twins baseball season. What's your take? We're pretty excited and pleased with what the Twins put together in the first half. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on this team right now. I like the way the lineup looks when the guys are healthy. The old refrain, right? When Buxton's on the field, when Correa's on the field, and now Brooks Lee's jumped right in and contributed right away. Royce Lewis is coming back. I like the lineup. I think the bullpen is good. Probably needs to get better if they're going to get to the playoffs and make a run. But the thing that frankly has been disappointing has been their number one starter, Pablo Lopez, but I don't think that's a long-term concern at all. I like this team. They've got, whatever, it was the fourth best record in the American League. Sitting behind Cleveland has the second best record in Major League Baseball. They're so much better a team than they were a year ago at this time, but now they've got somebody that, until it's proven otherwise, Cleveland looks like they're in it to stay. So it should be an interesting division race. But I really like the way this team has been playing ball lately.
A website called Athlon Sports put together first half awards for the Minnesota Twins. They named the team MVP Willie Castro, and I neglected to mention that we hope to see him in tonight's ball game representing the Twins at the All-Star game. It's a shame that Carlos Correa has problems with his feet. Okay, team MVP Willie Castro. Holler at me if you disagree with any of these first half awards. Cy Young, Joe Ryan. Best reliever, Griffin Jacks. Top rookie, Simeon Woods Richardson, or first-rate rookie is how they put it. Most bang for the buck, Jose Miranda. Hottest hitter, Carlos Correa. Diligent defender, Carlos Santana. I've always loved watching Carlos Santana play, and I'm so happy he's a member of the Twins this year.
Pretty smooth over there at first base, and it's nice to see the Twins have somebody who's really accomplished over there. It seems like the last few years, going back to C.J. Cron in 2019, they just kind of rotated people through there. Miranda, Luis Arraez was a primary first baseman just a couple of years ago for the Twins. But Santana can pick it over there. He looks really, really confident. And when your first baseman's confident, that helps build the confidence of the second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman as well.
Mm-hmm. My favorite thing, Dick Bremer, about when Luis Arraez played first base is when Aaron Judge would get on first base. The difference in stature between those two is absolutely shocking.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of Arraez now, I think he's right behind Shohei Ohtani now and Christian Yelich, too, in the National League batting race. And wouldn't it be something if he won his third straight batting title for his third different team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I can promise you that's never happened in baseball before. He won one a couple years ago, of course, with the Twins, won it last year with the Marlins, was traded now over to San Diego. And it could happen. I mean, he may win three straight national or batting titles, one in the American League, two in the National League, for three different teams.
That would be incredible.
Crazy.
That would be
That's
incredible.
Crazy.
I'm certainly rooting for it. Furthermore, on this report from Athlon Sports on first half awards for the Minnesota Twins, the unsung hero for the first half, they named Byron Buxton. He's appeared in 72 of the 96 ball games. He's on pace, and I know someone's going to say I'm jinxing it, but he's on pace to play the most games since 20+17. That's been great to see Byron out there.
And I still think he's kind of the wild card as we look for the Twins to hopefully have a good second half, get into the playoffs. And remember, I mean, they won a series last year, right? And were turned away by the Astros, and all Byron was able to do is make a pinch-hitting appearance. And I think it's as true now as it was 5 years ago. This team looks infinitely better when he's on the field and swinging the bat like we know he can. It hasn't happened because of all the injuries, but if he can have a healthy second half and can be as productive as we know he can be, watch out for this Twins team, because I really think they could make a long run in the postseason.
Yeah. Especially if they get Royce Lewis back and get him back to where he was before. Brooks Lee continues to play the way he's playing. Miranda continues to hit the way he's hitting. This lineup is pretty formidable, and I agree with you that if they can figure out this pitching, if Pablo Lopez can turn, we've seen a couple glimpses in the last month or so. If he can turn his season around, this team really does have a chance. The way the American League looks right now, nobody's running away with anything. So they've got just as good a chance as anybody right now to make a run, dare I say, to a World Series. It's very possible with the way things are shaping up.
Mm-hmm. And you look back at the start of the season, we know about the 7-13 start, and buried in the first weeks of the season, the 5 games they had with Cleveland, they lost all 5. And right there is the difference in the American League Central standings. Those 5 games, Cleveland won them all, and that's why the Guardians have the 4.5 game lead now at the break.
Ooh, someone grabbed the schedule. When's our first matchup with the Guardians in the second half of the season?
Good question.
Tell me that when you get a minute. Dick Bremer, do you have anything to say one way or the other about the Twins' draft choices this year? It's something that we admittedly mentioned yesterday we're kind of in the dark about.
Yeah, and I am too, and I was in the dark, frankly, when I was, doing Twins games on television. I never paid much attention to it, because I think a lot of what's written about these guys is written by people who aren't qualified to, gauge how good of a draft pick a high school kid is. I don't know that anybody is. We're drafting people out of high school and college, and who knows how they're going to develop. If when you have a 1-1 like Joe Mauer, well, okay, we've heard of him. Some of us maybe saw him play in high school, and so that's really cool that he was the number 1 overall pick. But for the most part, I have hardly seen any of these guys not only play. I've not heard of any of them, and we'll wait and see, how the development is for the draft picks, and there's so many variables between their drafting, being drafted, and when or if they even appear in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm. Here's a smart-ass text from Roastmaster Jesus, after what Randy Shaver just got done saying a few minutes ago about the potential of this Twins team. Roastmaster Jesus says, has Randy completely forgotten about the Yankees who will eliminate the Twins in 4 games? Stop talking like that.
It's not necessary.
Yes, the next time the Twins face the Guardians, a doubleheader on Friday, August 9th.
Oh, would that be the first of 4, I would imagine?
Yep. And that night, it's Harry Potter night.
Awesome! Heck yeah!
Dick Bremer, do the Guardians have a chance on Harry Potter night? I say no.
Well, unless or until somebody proves otherwise, we'll just have to accept them for what they are, the best team in the American League right now statistically. All that matters now, of course, wins and losses. You got the Phillies in the National League and the Guardians in the American League. And it's been a really good run for the Twins to draw within 4.5 games. I think it's really going to be an exciting second half.
I'm with you. Oh, I saw one of the Twins' draft picks is a kid named Kyle DeBarge. He's not from the singing DeBarge family, is he?
El DeBarge.
Feel the beat of the rhythm of the night. El DeBarge was the lead. Didn't he marry Janet Jackson for an hour and a half? El DeBarge.
Let's see.
Dick Bremer, you know this stuff. He's probably not from the DeBarge singing family. Baseball card collectors, it's become a massive thing again. For a while, it seemed to fall off the radar, but now card collecting is huge again. Check out what Topps has in the mix coming up here shortly. They've put together a broadcaster card set. Dick, you must have had your own card during your career, right?
Yeah, Topps a few years ago did something similar, and they included them. I've signed a few hundred baseball cards, and they randomly put them in packs around the country, and every once in a while somebody will, ask me to sign one of them or whatever. There were some that were not signed and some that were signed. And, I imagined growing up when I was a little kid, I was going to have a baseball card of me. I figured it would be when I was, 13 or 23 rather than when I was 63. It was a nice gesture, and I can say that, the Topps made a baseball card of me.
That's great. That's great. I know I must have heard that somewhere before. I mean, how Wally the Beer Man had his own card. So
sure.
Topps has a new limited edition series of cards. Sorry if I'm sound out of the loop because I'm not a collector and I'm not sure some of the language I might be off here. They're cards that are autographed, pre-autographed by broadcasters. Here are some of the Randy Shaver. Who do you want most? Joe Buck, Gary Cohen, Michael Kay, Buster Olney, Don Orsillo, Ken Rosenthal, and the last one here I'm not familiar with, Ryan Rucco?
Ryan Rokuko.
Ryan Rokuko. Didn't he have a pizza place in Brooklyn Center?
I love that place.
Ricky Rococo?
Rocky Rococo had a pizza shop. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Buster Olney is quoted here in the story saying, what a cool honor to be part of this, from collecting cards as a kid to signing them. Now, not everyone is pumped about this. I did see a fan tweet that said, this has to be one of the worst marketing selling points for a box of cards. I think maybe they're taking it a little too serious.
Right.
But that's how they're doing it over there. I'd love to run into one of your cards, Dick Bremer, at a shop or something someday. I think that'd be. I'd put.
Did they have you pose for it, Dick, or was it an action shot of you?
Well, yeah, an action shot for a broadcaster. I think my mouth was open. No, it was like a studio or a booth shot with me in a suit with Target Field behind me, and it was cool. I kept imagining what it was like for a little kid to get a package of baseball cards and go, okay, well, here's Aaron Judge. Wow, here's Juan Soto. Who the heck is this guy?
Now, when I was a little kid, I can think of one announcer. If I would have gotten his autographed card or even just baseball card in a pack of, it would have been Howard Cosell.
Sure.
When I was a little kid, I thought he was just. I thought he was a rock.
He was
star.
everything.
Yeah. Oh God! Well, there you go, Dick Bremer. Go out and catch a few of those jumbo perch, and if Brad Ryder comes up behind you or something like that, I mean, just I don't know. You got any sticks of dynamite in the boat?
I'll just pretend he's a game warden. I'll show him my fishing license and move on.
There you go.
Yes.
And enjoy the ball game tonight, Dick. We always appreciate your time.
And we will have a Cooperstown review next Tuesday.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Almost forgot. Have a blast in Cooperstown, man. And, we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Awesome.
You got it.
See you later, Dick. Tonight's big game starts at 7 o'clock. I think I got the right time on Channel 9. It ought to be fun. And then watching Joe Mauer on Sunday. My goodness.
Yeah.
We got to try to make it through all that. All right, Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. Here's what else is going on around.
Why is Brad Ryder crowding my Tuesday?
Wait, Randy, it's actually Wednesday. In retirement, you lost track of days again.
It's easy to do it.
On Randy? I was wondering how long it would be before someone brought that up.
Why? What's Ryder doing here on a Tuesday?
I have something. I have a previous engagement tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah, he's not able to make it.
So where are you playing golf?
Yeah, he gets one hole in one. Now he's a big shot.
Don't give me that previous engagement crap. Where are you playing golf?
Brad Ryder.
I'll give you a shot-by-shot breakdown on Friday.
Yeah.
He's not going to be here tomorrow, so he decided to join us today. He's
committed.
Particularly if I have another hole in one, you will get another shot.
Oh, I'm sure we will. I would hope so.
Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards is reportedly set to be the breakout star of an upcoming Netflix documentary following several NBA players. My damn.
Yes.
We just can't get enough of these jock sniff documentaries these days, huh?
Yeah.
So they say in this upcoming series, Edwards really shines. And
so it's something they've already shot.
Yes.
So they followed him last season?
Yes.
Okay.
And they focused both on the court and off the court. The other players involved, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Bottles, Brad Ryder's old bro, Jimmy Bottles.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so how much time was spent in the training room for that one?
And old Domantas Sabonis, the big cat from the Sacramento Kings.
He's good.
Yeah, he's a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
But they say Edwards' personality and everything, he becomes the breakout. It's expected to follow a similar format to the show from a year or so ago called The Quarterbacks and the current program called The Receivers. They haven't announced a date or a name for the show. Well, how about the professional basketball players?
I actually watched a little bit of Receiver yesterday on Netflix, and
The Receivers.
The Receivers, yes. Excuse me, pardon me. It was actually really good. I was surprisingly entertained by it.
Oh, you were? Mm-hmm. Boy, I couldn't get into it.
You couldn't? I just really like George Kittle. That guy kind of drew me in.
I did it first, and then the more they showed of him, the less I liked him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Josh, you didn't like The Receivers?
No.
Uh-oh.
I shouldn't say I didn't like it. I just didn't get into it.
Okay, I'm surprised because you like the quarterbacks.
Oh, I thought quarterback was good.
And this one has...
eventually I just kind of fast-forwarded to the Kirk Cousins stuff. And that's probably what I would have done here, just watch the Justin Jefferson stuff. But my wife wanted to watch all of it. Just wasn't really into it.
What was it about George Kittle that bothered you?
Well, at first I thought he was hilarious. And he had a particular line that almost killed me in the first episode. But after a while, and I didn't watch enough, maybe he seems like a nice guy and definitely a funny guy, a character.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got a bus with his face on it, that kind of stuff.
Is he one of those guys who's trying too hard?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, I get it.
I mean, do you see that, Dana?
I can see that, yeah. I love his fascination with wrestling. Like, he wants to build a ring in his backyard. And did you see the scene, too, Josh, with between him and Harrison Smith of the Vikings?
No, I think I watched maybe 1.5 episodes.
Oh, okay. I think it's episode 3 or 4. I'm not sure. I was kind of popping in and out. My fiance was watching it, but there's a scene between him and Harrison Smith where Harrison Smith hits him right in the wiener, and he was like, "God, you got me right in the tip."
That's the line that got me because they did a little preview of that.
Yeah,
that line got me.
That was hilarious.
The way he presented that line was awesome.
It was great.
Says this fall you can see this new NBA show.
I would guess that they will put it on right before the NBA season starts as a way to help market it.
Hey, check this out. Everybody wants to beat the piss out of that Bronny James kid for being drafted despite not being terribly good at basketball, right? Suck on this. He did win the Call of Duty tournament at the NBA Summer League.
A lot of those guys take that pretty seriously.
They do.
That's popular in the NBA, Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys take that. I mean, some people will be impressed by that.
I actually watched a little bit of the Summer League the other night. I watched a Timberwolves take on somebody, and it was kind of fun. Bronny has struggled thus far. He's gone, oh, God, this is pretty bad. 6 for 26 from the field, 0 for 12 from the three-point line in 3 games. And again, I'm not trying to gang up on this kid. He almost died. Give him a break. Yes, I think it's silly that he thinks he's not he. It's silly that he's going to turn into an NBA player in my mind. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think he's going to play in the NBA this year. They may call him up for a game or two, but he's on a 2-way contract with their G League team, and that's where he'll be.
But he did win the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 tournament at the Summer League. They had like a showdown in one of the hotels. He beat a kid from the Charlotte Hornets named Grant Williams, who also doesn't have much of a jump shot.
Hey, they can never take away that Call of Duty trophy from him.
Hang a banner.
Yeah.
That is something. Oh, wow. Now, this really grabbed me yesterday, too. What did we learn a handful of days ago? Klay Thompson, Golden State Warriors, won all those titles with Dinkus. Klay Thompson leaves the Warriors, signs an $80 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks. And okay, fine. I was kind of happy to hear that Thompson and Seth Curry, what's his name, Steph Curry, were being split up because I'm tired of the Warriors. I'm tired of hearing about, I can't wait for Draymond Green to retire or be suspended again. I'm just not a Golden State Warriors guy. So I was kind of happy. Okay, get him on. Get Thompson out of there. Now, people are lighting up the Dallas Mavericks now because video popped up of Klay Thompson looking washed up at a local gym playing basketball against non-pros. So it's a 3-year, $80 million contract, and everyone's jumping to conclusions saying, my God, this was a massive mistake after they watched this video. And he does, I watched the video, he does look terribly average while playing again. Now, these guys that he was playing against, these were really good ball players. Really good, don't get me wrong. But he's a damn NBA player. And he did look, the best line that I saw from someone reacting to this video says, Klay Thompson getting cooked at Planet Fitness by DoorDash drivers.
Yeah, he doesn't look like an NBA player. And for some reason, the video they posted even shows him missing shots.
Oh, he missed most of it.
And he got dunked on?
He got dunked on. He's being dribbled quite easily around by, and again, this wasn't like he was...
Do you look like Chris Paul?
Yeah, like a cone.
He kind of looked like a cone.
You know, the orange thing from practice?
Right.
He really did not look good.
There's going to be a lot of scrutiny around Klay Thompson in Dallas, considering all the conversation about him and feeling neglected money-wise in Golden State and, didn't feel like he was properly treated and all this kind of stuff. So
I haven't seen the video, but I'm going to guess that his effort level was probably a -1 in whatever pickup game he was playing.
That's true.
Probably just getting some cardio in.
What we call a cone. You know what you do with cones?
Right.
In the summertime, you got a cone. You make a move. What does the cone do?
Stay still.
Exactly. He's a cone.
Here's a text on the Klay Thompson video from Catfishing Jesus. He says, those Uber driver players are not average. I said that. I said it more than once. Those guys were really, really good. But he's an NBA player.
Right. But if he's probably not putting forth any effort, and the Uber drivers are thinking this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals because Klay Thompson's out here again.
No, that's very possible, Brad, but did you watch the video?
No, I didn't.
Watch the video. It didn't look like Klay Thompson was out there playing with himself. It really didn't. So, whatever. It could be nothing. It could be something, but it was kind of interesting to watch. Did everyone see Charles Barkley lay into himself after missing? He took a bad shot at this ex-jock golf tournament over the weekend. It's kind of funny audio.
Damn it, you fat.
That's Charles right there. He swings the club. The ball's not going where he wants it to go, and he called himself a damn fat F.
Oh, he chunked the hell out of that ball.
Yeah, he did.
It did not go anywhere.
I've called myself names before. Just
Have
like
you?
That.
Can we hear it again?
Damn it, you fat.
And then everyone with their cell phones pointed at him had a good time.
Oh, boy.
Ah, man.
I've played that golf course. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Where were they, Randy?
Edgewood Tahoe on Lake Tahoe. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Any women out there?
Always.
Were there good-looking women?
Always.
Oh, I know where my next vacation is.
You'll love it.
You're
You've never
go
been to Lake Tahoe.
The day that Wapple goes to Lake Tahoe to go golfing is the day that I replace you on the Frisbee golf course.
Wouldn't that be something? Just Wapple taking selfies out there. I'd love to see it, Wapple.
Guys, I'm headed out to Lake Tahoe. No, you're not. You're going to Forest Lake. couple of gals hauled them out for us at some silly soccer. How do you call that sport
Soccer?
again? At some silly soccer tournament going on. A couple of gals hauled them out of their shirts for us. It was Colombia versus Argentina. They played somewheres, and one of the two clubs won the game. I guarantee you that. But that's as much.
Well, maybe not. It might have been a draw.
No.
It was a championship game.
No,
There
I'm
had to
telling
be
you,
a winner.
somebody won the game, right, Dana?
Yeah, Argentina won.
So these two gals are the latest viral video. They had Argentinian flags painted over their nipples. So ever since these two gals busted them out, some folks are saying, step aside, lady from the Edmonton Oilers game. There are a few new sheriffs in town.
The cycle will just continue until the next set gets pulled out of their tank top.
Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that.
Did you post that, Ashley?
Yes, I did. I posted the link to it because we can't just have boobs online,
Nudity.
but the link will bring you there.
I know a lot of you are social media types, and so I just wanted to give you a heads up. Soon, for the next 3 or 4 weeks, all you're going to hear about are these gals, and then the next, and then. Is this the soccer tournament where the stupid idiots at the game pretty much trashed the Miami Dolphins football stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Crawling through air vents and stuff
To get in.
And
Oh,
it's
jeez.
Just
insane.
enough with this. Just shut it down.
It's like that Waste Management Open, right? People just can't handle it for whatever reason.
That's not cool.
Did you wet your big retirement pants yesterday, Randy Shaver? I read that.
That's kind of a loaded question, actually.
We were talking at the end of yesterday's segment about how this new college football video game is coming out.
I looked for it here. I'm in Iowa City. I looked for it yesterday. It's not out here. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, the deluxe version.
Yeah, it's a special version they released earlier.
Oh,
Now, are we talking about? You got to help me out. Are we talking about you go to a store and you buy the game?
Yes.
Oh,
correct.
Can't you download it?
Mm-hmm. You can download it too. I mean, I'm not home, so I can't do that. So I looked online at a couple of stores here in Iowa City to see if they have it. They don't. You could pre-order, but you can't buy it.
All right, you saved yourself from some aggravation.
I mean, it's coming out Friday, so I can wait till Friday.
Okay.
It's okay.
By not pouncing on the early MVP release or whatever you called it, Wapple, say it again.
Deluxe.
The deluxe edition. By not chasing after that, it sounds like you saved yourself some aggravation. Folks paid an extra $30 yesterday to get a chance to be one of the first swinging Ds to play this new college football video game. But there was some kind of meltdown. There was some kind of error message when they hit the switch, and everything went to hell.
Servers crashed. Which I'm surprised because I'm sure they anticipated that it was going to be crazy popular.
Yeah.
But this always happens
Yes.
with any big game. They always downplay the server size than what they think is actually going to happen.
Okay,
It
so
happens
this is
very frequently.
This is
with
pretty
video
common.
games. Yep.
Yeah, I was super excited for this, but it now really bummed out because unless you have the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, S, or whatever it is, like the newest consoles, you won't be able to play it.
That's correct.
Lake Street Handshake, Jesus says, Randy, you can only get it for the PlayStation 1 in Iowa. That's why. We're up to the 5 here in Minnesota.
Yes, I have the 5 at home, but I don't have the 1.
Now, a couple people must be relatively new to the program because a couple people have texted in and they're surprised to hear you're a gamer.
I'm a sports gamer. I wouldn't call myself necessarily a gamer. I don't play Call of Duty or things like that, but I love the baseball game. The baseball game is phenomenal, and I've always played that. I am kind of dead to the world on Madden. I don't really care for the Madden game as much, but I loved the college football game. The college football game was the most enjoyable game I've ever played, and when they stopped making it because of the NIL, because of lawsuits that happened in direct response to that, I was super disappointed. And it's been, what, Wapple, 10 years, 12 years?
11?
Something like that since the game was out. So that's why people are excited about this, because the game itself, if you play the franchise mode and you build your college team, that's the most fun of this game. And so that's why it's so highly anticipated.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take a really, really small school and make them into a powerhouse like Alabama.
Right. Right.
A listener wants to know here, Trades Worker Jesus, what gaming console does the ass man have at home?
I have the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, he said he has
Good
a PS5.
for
Oh, you said that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Nice.
What about you, Brad Ryder? What's the game that you enjoyed most in your lifetime? Randy says it was this college football game. What about Brad Ryder?
I haven't really been into that the last couple decades, but when we were in college or just out of college, and I'm going to get the name of the game wrong, but that old NHL game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about where the guys' heads would bleed and
Yeah,
like NHL 95, 96.
Yeah. We used to love to play that when I was in college.
So much fun.
Nick, is yours Shower Rescue?
Shower Rescue.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite real live action game.
I thought you made a video game out of it.
Oh, I don't have the skill set for that, but I am the innovator of the home live action game called Shower Rescue. I think the first time I played it, I think I was a 17-year-old kid. Played Shower Rescue with my girlfriend at the time.
NHL Hits?
Oh, dude.
Is that the game?
No, he's talking about just was it Sega NHL? Yeah. And it was just called 94, 95, 96.
Sure. NHL Hits was newer, and like my time frame before that, it would have been Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey.
That game was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was a blast.
Ashley, you might want to make a change to the website. You mentioned you didn't post boobs on the site. You did post boobs on the site.
No, I just posted the link.
Oh, no, you did not.
Oh, boy.
Ashley,
that's one way to drive traffic to the website.
No time to argue with Cubby. Take the boobs off the website.
Yeah, maybe it automatically does that.
Well, maybe you automatically did that. Oh, God. Yeah, Brad Ryder.
Damn it. The one morning I'm not near a computer.
You got to come back to Minnesota.
We used to have some spirited tournaments. Me and my pals playing the old NHL Sega.
Yeah, it's
93.
fun.
Oh, it got nasty. It got nasty.
I told you that's how I discovered video games, was watching at the Stanley Cup Finals in '91, the Penguins and the North Stars. I was in Pittsburgh, and they had one of those games set up downstairs in the media room.
Right.
I had never seen it before, never seen any video game before in person. And I just stood there and went, oh, my God, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and bought it as soon as I got back to town.
And
bought the system and the whole thing because I was like, that's amazing.
And compared to the graphics today, it was an absolute bag of garbage.
Oh, it's garbage.
But when you saw it, you're like, oh, my God, his face looks so real.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, we had some spirited tournaments. We would usually bring the Sega system, kind of like Wapple's probably going to bring his gaming system when he goes to Lake Tahoe. We brought someone would bring the Sega to my buddy's cabin up on Lake Vermilion. And
fun.
Winter trips, we'd do a little ice fishing, but of course, there'd be plenty of nights we just wanted to sit in the cabin and drink, and we'd have these tournaments playing Sega Hockey 93-4, whatever it was. And what pissed a few guys off is we chose our team by random.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
You had the one guy who had to be the LA Kings, or the Black, and suddenly they didn't have that option. So I faced one of my best friends. I faced one of my best friends in the championship of this random team Sega hockey tournament up on Lake Vermilion. I beat him in overtime by accidentally firing the puck from behind my own net. A total fluke goal, won the entire tournament. That buddy of mine put the remote down, walked away, and did not talk to me for the rest of the weekend. That's how personally these sumbitches took.
I remember we would have the same thing. We would have either baseball tournaments or hockey tournaments. And people would bring their Xboxes, and we would have LAN parties. So you look in the hotel room, and you can see where people are because there's a cord going from one Xbox to the other.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Just different rooms. God.
Well, that's why these game companies set up the ability to be able to play people from across the country, because people were doing tournaments like this. This was a very common thing. You'd hear about, hey, all day Saturday at so-and-so's house, 10 guys would show up. They'd have 3 systems set up, and they would be playing all day. Well, obviously that got replaced by the internet being able to, do it. Somebody could be sitting in Iowa City and the other person could be sitting in Minneapolis, and playing against each other.
Yeah, that's how me and my
Yep, that's how it started.
Yeah, one of my buddies, that's how we keep in touch. He's down in Florida, down by Cocoa Beach, and we play video games all the time. Just keeping in touch.
That's a heartwarming story, Wapple. It is.
Yeah, we never knew back in the day we were training ourselves for this moment.
You just never know, do you?
You never do.
Dude, the Muppet just got deep. We got to get out of here. Although Tradesworker Jesus, again, the same guy who asked Randy Shaver what gaming console he uses, he says, don't take the boobs. Ashley accidentally put naked boobs on our website. Tradesworker Jesus says, don't take the boobs down. It really brings your website together.
It kind of does.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
That's old Bill Hung right there singing Take Me Out to the... Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, thanks.
You bet. See you tomorrow.
We'll be back in a few minutes on the program.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
Ocean now knows the name of the baby.
No Amazon Lines
Make
for that
impromptu.
one.
No. She's gonna leak it.
Oh, if she tries to, I'm not letting her because she will leak the name.
And she says it.
She goes, this would look so great for baby S.
Little baby Stephanie. Stephanie. People are still guessing. The most recent was Stone.
Oh, that's the name of my son. Stone.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, we're having a hell of a time here this morning on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, and we're so happy to have you listening. Did you see the boobs on our website? Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
Sorry about the boobs.
Now, is there still, for people that haven't seen boobs online, there's a story about what you can see, Ashley, maybe a way to get there if you really want to see it?
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Okay, so right now you've just taken the boobs off the website.
Yes.
But we can't have naked boobs on the website.
I don't think we're supposed to do that.
No, so if we bothered anybody. Hey, let's go back, if you don't mind. I want to go back to a couple things that we covered earlier on this here radio program. What got us on the topic of a bug bomb? Was it something from your news report, Josh?
Yeah, there was a story where a bug bomb fell off a shelf at a public supermarket, and they had 20 people that suffered some respiratory issues.
Oh, God help us all.
Everybody's okay.
I've never used a bug bomb, but it sounds like fun. Got a text message back when you were first rapping about that, Josh. Hillman Welder Jesus. Hillman Welder Jesus. Said, when I was a kid, my mom used a bug bomb on our house. She forgot to take my pet bird out of the house.
Oh, no.
Oh,
man.
And she ended up killing my bird.
Oh, no.
Poor Petey.
Yeah. Its heads are falling off.
We also talked a little bit about butt plugs, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
These
And all the
days,
technology that you can have on a butt plug.
it is not your mother and father's butt plug. That's not what you find in the sex shops anymore. Your mother and father's butt plugs.
Would you say we're living in the golden era of butt plugs?
You know, when you're in it, it's tough to know.
Yeah, I suppose.
We'll have to, maybe in 20 years we can look back.
Historians will answer that question one day.
Things have changed. Nowadays, if you go off and buy yourself a butt plug, you can get one with a tail on it. It's got lights, sirens, different flavors. When we were discussing butt plugs, if you didn't also receive this text message, Josh, Wapple, Dana, and Ashley, you might want to look this up. A couple of our listeners sent me pictures of butt plugs that will also hold a taco.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was amazed at how many people had that had that photo of one of those butt plugs at the ready to send to us.
It is Taco Tuesday.
We got five in a matter of 10 seconds.
It's a butt plug, and you know what that's for, but it will also hold in place a taco.
Yeah, what if your partner's hungry?
I don't have taco holders at home. Do you guys have taco holders?
No, I don't.
So I saw
Where's my
online, I want to
hands?
get the Dino taco holders.
That's the one I've seen the most.
Yeah, those look cool.
I don't know what that means. No, I don't have a a taco holder that's for the rich.
Oh, look, there's a taco holder that is like a train, so you can pass it along the table to your friends.
Oh, that's kind of
Toot taco.
Get a hold of yourself, Wapple.
I can't.
Get a hold of yourself.
Yep, it's a train. He's excited. He's like a little kid.
Tacos and trains. I'm on board. Toot toot.
Taco Poos Day.
Yeah.
Is the joke that's coming in on the text machine now in reference to the butt plug that will also hold you a... let me ask you guys something now. Do you make a phone call or two now and again? To your power company or your cable provider or your internet provider, someone like that, a customer service call.
Yeah, when I have to.
They try not to let you talk to anybody.
No, they go out of your way.
They
out
want
of
you
their
to
way.
chat. They don't, not even emails really anymore. They just want you to chat.
Okay, so you do. You make these phone calls.
Sure, if you have a customer service issue.
Customer service issue, okay. And the problem that I understand is that you never get a live human being. Is that correct?
It's not easy.
Okay.
Frustrating to say. I mean, some places are a little easier than others, but you used to be able to say like operator, human, or something like that, and then maybe it would ask you, "Are you sure?" I mean, because this is kind of a pain in the ass for us. But if you really want to talk to somebody, fine, we'll do that. Now it seems like it's even more difficult.
Yeah, you have to hit the 15 different buttons to get to the operator part. You're sitting there waiting for your different options. Press 1 to do this. Press 2 to...
Have you had a meltdown, Josh? Have you come uncorked? I know you
No.
don't like to lose your cool. You like to keep your composure. Have you slammed the phone down? Have you shouted at it?
No, but my wife has, maybe, I think about it, maybe this is on purpose. She's lost her customer service privileges. Now, she's never rude to the person on the phone, but she gets super frustrated, like really, really, really cranky, really, really, really easy at some of these.
She's lost? What do you mean? So a couple of companies have banned her from
No,
making...
I've taken away her privileges.
Oh.
Because she gets so frustrated.
You don't want her bringing shame amongst the family?
It's not like a situation where everyone would be frustrated at this point. It's pretty much immediately, and I think she's holding on to past experiences, and she just puts those on whatever the new one is.
And then she lets it get to her, so then her whole day's ruined too.
Well, and part of it is she's someone who doesn't like to talk to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like a situation like this, not just people in general, but she would much rather send an email, chat. So, nowadays it's kind of made for her. So she'd appreciate that. But there's times, you got to call.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had that situation. So I end up doing that because I don't get pissed as easy as
Well,
she
you're
does.
a good man for taking that responsibility on because it sounds miserable. I'm sorry for your struggles.
Yeah, I had to call a cell phone provider the other day, and it was very, very difficult to reach a human being.
Yeah. Well, how about a little advice on the subject? This came from Reddit or some nightmare social media site. Somebody with a lot of customer service experience has passed on this little piece of advice. If you call it, if this is the route you want to take, okay, this is one way to do it. If you call a company and a bot answers, you don't get a live human being. They say drop a few F-bombs on them. And here's how that works. The A1 will flag you.
AI.
The AI, Christ. That's twice I've done that. The AI will flag you as disgruntled and immediately put an actual human on the phone. That's their piece of advice. Try that out, I guess.
One of us should try that during the break here and see if it works.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I wonder if they send you to a particular person, like a saint.
Yeah.
Whoever the kindliest person is at the office that goes right to that guy.
Yeah, they're probably not going to send you to the
You're
most...
the F-bomb person.
They probably wouldn't send you to the disgruntled F-bomb customer service agent because then the two of you would have a showdown. Try it out. And like Josh said, maybe that'd be fun. Maybe we can try it when we take a commercial break and see if it actually works. When you call a customer service line and a robot answers, dump a few F words on them, and they'll send you to a live human being. Hey, real quick, 651-989-9393. Text the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. The number again is 651-989-9393. Text the word MORE, and that's your chance to win passes to Extreme Sunday, September 22nd at Mystic Lake Casino. We warned you earlier we were going to give someone a chance. Extreme is on the way to town, September 22nd at Mystic Lake Casino with your Gary Sharon and your Nuno Betancourt and I don't know, Pat Badger. I remember the bass player's name was Pat Badger.
Yep.
And the drummer, I can't think of his name, but didn't he quit the band and now he produces bands like he makes...
At last I heard, yeah, that's the case.
Extreme. The word is more, 651-989-9393. You seem confused by that, Wapple. I believe it's a play on their big hit single, More Than Words.
It definitely is, yes. That is the word, more. That was a big hit, wasn't it?
I'll be dipped. It was.
Boy, I'll tell you, there's a certain time when that was popular. If you didn't know how to play that on guitar and you were a guitar player, you might as well just throw your instrument away.
Just light it on fire.
Just get rid of it. Same with To Be With You by Mr. Big. You couldn't play those, get out of town. Not interested.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you something, Josh, that I never planned on telling you. But I'm going to go ahead anyway. Towards the end of my high school rock band's run of wild success in the West Metro, me and our bass player and our lead guitar player, we did rehearse the song Wholehearted.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I like that song.
Do you?
Yeah.
We did rehearse the song Wholehearted. You late 80s, early 90s rockers know what we're talking about.
You must have some good singers in that, or else you just were brave.
We were brave.
Yeah.
All right. I do believe I'm the only swinging D in town that has never sent anyone an emoji. You want to go ahead with a conversation?
Ever?
Huh?
Never, ever.
Never, ever.
Wow, that's surprising.
Wouldn't know how to do it.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
I can believe that.
Yeah.
All right.
That tracks.
Well, you know, it just it pulls up now, right? When you're typing a word that has an associated emoji, it should pull up its autocorrect, or not autocorrect, but the autofill, or whatever they call
Suggestions, yeah.
You guys like to fire emojis across town?
Yeah, sure.
it. At times, when appropriate.
All right. All right, I've got this for you. If you needed to text someone a message, like, say, you're texting someone simply the message, okay, I just need to go use the restroom first. Like you were texted and someone said, hey, man, hurry up, we're late for the gangbang. And you want to respond by saying, okay, I just need to go to the restroom first. Are you someone who needs to add the poop emoji, the toilet emoji, or maybe the droplets emoji? Is that the route you take?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
that's lame.
That's lame?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to look back at the last few texts I've sent, if I can find my phone.
Why is that lame?
I don't know. It's kind of lame, I guess, to...
It's too predictable?
Yeah, to like... I don't know. It sounds like somebody just found out what emojis were like the day before, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna use all these."
Trying too hard.
Yeah,
I hear
exactly.
what you're saying there.
Okay, well,
it's like nerd.
Do you guys put emojis in your contacts?
No.
Only the special ones. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, my son wanted me to add one. I don't really like that. I'd prefer just the name. But
well, you tell me then, Little Miss Emoji Queen, Ashley, if you were going to tell someone via text that you needed to use the bathroom real quick, what emoji do you have to use an emoji? What do you use?
I have to use.
You
an
have
emoji? I don't know. Maybe a smiley face. One of the basic ones.
She likes to mix it up. She doesn't like it to be. According to a new survey, 41% of people believe every text message needs to include an emoji to be complete.
No.
That's over the top.
Yeah.
Or the text feels naked, they say.
oh, I just got a text from a buddy. It's simply the middle finger. That's not cool.
What you were going to check your text messages, your past text messages. I'm assuming, Josh, you were going to check them to see what emojis you use most often.
Well, I know the one I use the most often is the hug emoji.
Hug.
Definitely, I use that the most. But yeah, I haven't. I delete them every night. I have some new ones here. Wapple, I think you're the last one I sent emojis to. Some thumbs up, a cowboy hat guy, a smiley face guy.
cowboy
Love
hat
the
guy.
cowboy hat guy.
Okay. as you might imagine, it's more the younger folks who are insisting on emojis being included in every text, or it feels naked, it feels off. It's the younger folks who are driving this vehicle. But words are important too, they say. 38% of people say texting just a single emoji is a conversation killer.
Oh, I do that all the time. Just to communicate, like if I'm gonna jump in the shower or something, I'll text my wife the shower emoji just so she knows, hey, if you need me, I'll be in the shower. As in, if you're trying to get a hold of me and I don't respond, versus jump on in with me.
Can I start to get those text messages too?
If you'd like.
It's a group chat with you and his wife and him.
Yeah, now I know.
You've got the website to my shower cam.
Yeah.
Just use that.
This text crowd, the folks who are really dialed in, enthusiastic about text messages, it sounds like a tough crowd to please. Some say, oh, you better throw an emoji in there. Oh, but not just an emoji, because that's a conversation killer. I don't think I can hang with these people. In closing, while a lot of folks believe that an emoji in every text message may seem over the top, 58% of Americans believe emojis do improve how we communicate digitally.
Oh, gosh. Bug-Eye Wagon G said it's not just the younger folks insisting on emojis in a text. Your mom puts an eggplant emoji in every message I get from her.
Oh, my goodness.
It's funny you say that. Joke's on you, Bug-Eye Wagon Jesus. Now, she doesn't get dirty, but nobody adds more emojis to a text than my mom.
It is funny when some of adults and parents, they discover emojis or GIFs, and then they just go over the top with it.
I love when they do that.
Is
so
that
cute.
right? Yeah. Your mother's into it, John?
Yeah, and here's one that has, for a usual one, this is light. Can you see this far?
No. Can you pass it my way?
Yeah, so I'll just read it to you. Thumbs up, hands up in a prayer. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you, the hand, the sign language. Clapping, heart, 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 heart.
She loves you.
She covered almost all of them.
Yeah,
you must be feeling that love, Josh.
And was the hearts the different colors of hearts and like the arrow going through the heart?
No, but she does that for my sister because my sister's her favorite. I just got the same one.
She gets a special heart.
Josh's mama, she's just scrapping. That's what she's doing.
She loves the emoji.
Half-assed morning show 93.
God, I'm ready to get out of here. I hate you guys. We were talking about, we had a conversation about emojis. Fancy schmancy stuff, unnecessary if you ask a guy like me. Emojis, but everyone's dumping them on each other up and down. Got a couple of text messages here on emojis. This is delivery driver. She says her fiance includes emojis. When he messages her, if he's getting a pizza, he'll send the pizza emoji.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
If
quick communication.
If he's sleeping, he'll send her a little emoji of a little yellow face and its eyes are closed and there's Z's next to it.
Yeah, a little sleepy face.
I've sent that to my wife.
She says, delivery driver she says about her fiance's practice of sending her emojis connected to every damn thing that he does. She says, it's just super adorb.
It is super adorable.
Yeah.
Sure, it can communicate things quickly. I was thinking about it over the break there. Nick was telling me how much he hates you guys, and I kind of zoned out for a second because I hear it so often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
And I was thinking when I send listeners, I send emojis quite often. When I want them to know something was really funny or, we don't have a lot of time sometimes to get back to people, but I want to try and respond. So I realized I send that to communicate something quickly.
You send emojis from our text machine?
I do. I forgot that I do that.
I didn't know we had that option with our text machine.
Do.
Yeah, it's fun.
What about sending off a GIF or a meme? This is funny.
Oh, I like those.
I don't really do that anymore. I saw on Twitter the other day that people were
so snobby about this, isn't she?
people were saying that GIFs, you can tell how old somebody is, like if they're like a boomer, if they use GIFs now. I guess younger kids and like people in their early 20s don't use them anymore. They use memes instead. I guess GIFs are out. I don't know.
Really? I still like the GIFs.
That's what the young people are saying, I guess.
Really paints more of a picture.
Yeah.
Using a GIF.
I agree.
I use those. I enjoy those.
Fair enough. I didn't mean to start trouble. I didn't.
I wish it wouldn't tell the other person. It does with iPhones now. Like, will tell you that the other person is searching a GIF because I don't like that they don't get the surprise.
A lot of people are reminding us, Ashley, where you thought I was mad at you for a while because I used proper punctuation in a text.
Yeah, that threw me off.
And I'd never heard that before. I didn't know. So now I do think about that. So I'll add an emoji to someone like you to show, look, I'm smiling when I'm sending this. I just have a hard time not using proper punctuation.
It makes my day every time I get a text from you and it has an emoji, Josh, because I know for a split second you thought, I got to put a freaking emoji or else she's going to think I'm pissed at her.
No. I do that out of love because I want you to know all good. And I felt terrible that you thought that because I still don't really get it. And I've mentioned this before. I thought you were crazy. I asked my older kids. They're like, no, that's a real thing. We just know you well enough to know you're not pissed off, but it does seem aggressive. I'm like, using a period at the end of the sentence seems aggressive. News to me.
I don't know if this is true. A listener has just texted in to say that emojis go all the way back to the cavemen days.
That is true, yes.
But,
hieroglyphics and things like that.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
I guess.
Even before.
True that.
My God, that's deep historical stuff. Gifts. I was saying something or another about gifts. Here's a listener who says, whenever he has to go number 2 skis, he sends his wife a gif of a prairie dog popping its head out of its hole.
I love that term. Oh, prairie dogging. I love that. Oh, no, Farmington Dad Jesus, he just sent me an unsolicited deck pic.
Oh, no.
And what a beautiful deck that is. Multi-layered. Oh, wow.
Good size?
Yeah, that's a great size deck.
We got to get the hell. Hey, Ashley, when you're not busy posting hardcore porn on our website, did you happen to throw the video of the bicycle riding poodle?
Yes.
Okay. On our way out, I just want to tell folks, you can visit our website. You can't see boobs anymore, but you can see a bicycle riding poodle. What do you think about that, Cubby?
I love that video.
That little guy's so cute.
He is cute.
It's a poodle that rides a bicycle.
Yeah, that'll make your day. If you're having a bad day, look at that. It'll be that's something. That's a day changer, wouldn't you guys say?
Absolutely.
Frame Electric Jesus text in a shout out to the SV Girls 14U team who finished a tough season with a great win. Congrats. Best of luck to Cole and Vanessa having their first kid today from their pal and ours. More anxiety than hair, Jesus. Happy birthday to concert junkie Jesus on her way to Rockfest. And happy 23rd to our buddy Isaac. Thanks for spending some of your Tuesday with us, and we'd love it if you join us again tomorrow.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.